Meteorologists, Philadelphia's leading news program.
Good morning. It's 6 o'clock on this Sunday, February 22nd. I'm Trish Hartman. Another massive snowstorm is moving our way. An AccuWeather alert is in place as a major nor'easter bears down on the region just as patches of grass were reappearing and temperatures finally climbed above freezing. Shoppers are headed back to the market. The Jersey Shore is right in the bullseye with blizzard conditions expected. This is a live look at Atlantic City right now. New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill has declared a state of emergency for all counties and is urging residents to stay home. Let's check in with meteorologist Karen Rogers in for Peyton Domsky with an update on the expected snowfall totals and when this should all begin. Karen, I don't want to do this again.
You don't want to do it again, but here we go. And guess what, Trish? New coming in, we now have blizzard warnings even for Philadelphia. So the National Weather Service has expanded that, no longer just for the shoreline, but even in the city of Philadelphia, even in Lower Montgo, in Bucks, and in the Poconos, not in the Lehigh Valley, but through much of the region, we now have blizzard warnings as well as a winter storm warning for areas north and west. This goes into effect at 10 o'clock this morning. It lasts until 6 o'clock tomorrow evening. Let's show you what we're looking at right now. So this is something we're going to be following all through the day as we finally, after talking about this system for a week on end, we can see how it evolves. So here we are with our multi-sweep scan showing we've got rain through most of the area, a little bit of wet flakes trying to move in, and you see that here with a few wet flakes mixing with the showers here in West Goshen. The reason for the rain is those temperatures are above freezing. They stay above freezing through the afternoon, and that's when things change later on. So we watch this storm system that isn't much just yet. Sure, you see some strung out moisture, but what's going to happen is this low deepens and evolves just as it moves off the coastline, and that allows for those very strong winds. Temperatures, even in the Lehigh Valley right now, above freezing. Almost 40 in the city, 37 in Millville. So first we have to fight off this mild air, and the winds are calm. We're going to be seeing gusts in the city now up to 40 miles an hour. That hasn't happened just yet. That happens later today when it evolves. So by 3, 4 o'clock, we then see snow overtaking the region, but that temperature is still about 36 degrees. So a lot of it at first is just melting on the mild, wet ground. Then we start to see the accumulation, I think especially during the evening hours is when it really ramps up, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock. So looking at the hour-by-hour forecast, we've got cloudy skies with some light rain at 8, still some light rain at lunchtime. At 4 o'clock, you have that change to snow and blizzard conditions kicking in at 8 o'clock this evening. Trish will take you region by region and talk totals and unfold this and see when it ends as well, coming up in that 7-day. A lot to go over in a few minutes.
So much to talk about. We will see you a little bit later, Karen. Thank you. New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill is scheduled to hold another briefing at noon today. The storm marks the first time since 2022 that we've had blizzard warnings along the New Jersey coastline. Action News reporter Brianna Smith traveled to Atlantic City to check on the preparations there.
While some Jersey Shore residents are embracing the nor'easter's arrival,
excited. I have the 2 days off.
Others are counting down to its departure.
Just come on and leave.
The shore is forecasted to face blizzard conditions, up to 18 inches of snow, 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts, coastal flooding, and beach erosion.
Hopefully it's the last bit of snow we get.
On Saturday night, some Atlantic City residents made a last-minute trip to stock up on groceries.
I'm planning to be in the house with my cat for a while. The cat and I are going to play video games, watch TV.
Many also searched for salt and shovels, but this Home Depot in Egg Harbor Township displayed empty shelves.
I'm not feeling too good about that at all. And see, I work at the hospital, so they will put us up.
Meanwhile, Atlantic City leaders say they're ready for this storm after gathering resources all week.
We're fully prepared, have the equipment, manpower to do it. We will get to you. I ask the residents and the businesses, please do not put the snow on the streets.
Atlantic City Electric also activated its emergency response team for potential power outages.
We'll be out there working 24/7 to get them restored as safely as possible. Safety is the #1 priority.
Urging residents to stay indoors during this dangerous winter storm.
Let Public Works do their job. Keep off the roads. So in the event of 911 calls, public agencies, the public safety agencies can get to the calls and help the people who need it the most.
Another important reminder, look for street signs that show it's a snow emergency route like this one on Ventnor Avenue. Local leaders say you cannot park your cars here starting at 4 p.m. on Sunday until Tuesday morning, or else it will be towed. Also, if you need parking, free parking is available at Wave Parking Garage and Showboat Hotel. In Atlantic City, Brianna Smith, Channel 6 Action News.
The city of Philadelphia says a snow emergency will take effect at 4 p.m. this afternoon. That means all city offices and courts will close. Schools will also be closed Monday, but the school district of Philadelphia will switch to virtual learning. The storm comes about a month after heavy snow and ice left many roads difficult to travel. Mayor Sherelle Parker assured residents that the streets will be cleared quickly.
We will do whatever it takes, however long it takes, to ensure that we have cleared our streets and we are keeping Philadelphians safe. We're going to use every tactic and every strategy necessary to clear our streets as swiftly and efficiently as we possibly can.
The city now has 2 snow melters to help with the cleanup. Trash and recycling collection will be delayed by 2 days. Whatever Mother Nature throws at us today, you can be one step ahead with the 6ABC app. There you can find the latest updates and forecasts from our team of meteorologists, plus Storm Tracker 6 live radar. PennDOT crews were already out early this weekend to get ahead of the storm. Roads have been pre-treated with brine, and the agency tells Action News it has 60,000 tons of salt ready to roll for snow removal. Officials say they're prepared to respond around the clock once the nor'easter starts piling up snow.
Our trucks will be at the ready. About 170 state trucks combined with about 270 contractor trucks brings us over, 430 trucks across the region. I expect them to be very busy tomorrow afternoon, overnight, and into Monday morning to try to clean up for that morning commute.
PennDOT is urging people to stay home if they can. If you have to travel, give snowplows plenty of room so the crews can work safely and keep the roads clear. Time now for another check of your forecast. Sky 6 is taking a live look outside. This is near 15th and JFK, right outside of City Hall. You can start to see what looks like a couple of flurries just starting to come down. So meteorologist Karen Rogers is here this morning with our forecast. So much to talk about, and everyone wants to know about the timing when all this is really going to ramp up.
Right. When right now you're okay heading out. You have errands to run. You have things to do. It's no problem. It's late afternoon and into the evening. That's when the weather deteriorates. And we now have blizzard warnings, not just for along the coast, but even for Philadelphia, even for the southern end of the Poconos. And that's because of the strong winds expected with this. So we watch, the winds are calm right now. This really hasn't happened just yet, but we watch this low take hold. I think by 3-4 o'clock, you're already seeing along the gust along the coast, reaching perhaps 40 miles an hour. And then through the height of the storm in the evening hours at 8 o'clock, you have those 50-mile-an-hour gusts along the coastline and even heading towards 40 miles an hour in the city itself, straight through into the middle of the night. And that's what you need for those blizzard warnings. Strong winds blowing that snow and reducing visibility. And it does look like that's what we got a shot for in the city, as surely east of the city. Storm Tracker 6 live with our multi-sweep scan showing what we're mostly seeing now are some rain showers. Yeah, you might see a wet flake or two mix in, but it's not a big deal. The temperatures are telling the story, and they are right now in the upper 30s through much of the region. Satellite and radar showing this storm still hasn't taken shape. Yes, you see that snow north and west, the rain to the south, but we haven't had that low deepen and intensify yet. That's what happens during the day. We all get to watch this unvolve together today. Let's take a look at Storm Tracker 6, and we watch future tracker showing even 11 o'clock we still have 39 degrees and rain coming down in the city. You've got that light snow north and west, but even there temperatures above 35 degrees is not accumulating. Then we watch as the sun gets ready to set. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Snow is starting to take over the region, but the temperature's a little slow to drop. So at first, the first couple of inches are just melting on that wet surface. Then by 7 o'clock, it's starting to ramp up. This is where we see those darker shades moving in. The temperatures now drop to the freezing mark at 7 o'clock. The trouble is it continues all night long. I think the peak intensity still wraps up maybe 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, but we're still looking at snow through the region at that point. And this is one slight change. There are models showing, although it's light, we still could have some accumulating snow through maybe about lunchtime or so tomorrow before those final flurries wrap up. So as we look at the hour-by-hour forecast, you're in the upper 30s this morning. You've got the rain coming down. It's pretty light. Even some wet flakes are coming down at 1, 2, 3, but that temperature still above freezing. In fact, it's about 37. It takes to the evening hours to get that temperature to drop to freezing, and that's when you really start to see that accumulation. So 4 to 8 inches north and west, 8 to 12 inches for the core of our area, with 12 to 18 along the shore. I'm looking at some new model information that'll be coming in shortly. We'll see if we need to bump these numbers up. The trouble is, one thing is the first part is melting, but the other thing is it's lasting a little longer. So we're balancing the two. Here's your exclusive AccuWeather 7-day rain and snow showers and 39 for your high. That's not a great setup for blizzard conditions, but then those temperatures drop. It's coming down heavily all night, continuing through tomorrow morning. Lingering snow showers lasting through now looks like the early afternoon. Tuesday, partly sunny and breezy, 34, and Wednesday into Thursday, we could have a few more rain or snow showers around. Friday, clouds and sun, 43, finally nicer on Saturday. So a complex system. Yeah. We hit the low 50s yesterday. We're hitting about 40 today. We need it to come down hard enough to get it to accumulate, and it does that. We just have to see what time it does that. I think it starts to accumulate more, maybe 6, 7 o'clock.
Okay, we'll talk to you later, Karen. Thank you. We'll be right back. But first, stepping live outside, Philadelphia International Airport has already taken the preemptive step of canceling a number of flights today and tomorrow. You will want to check your flight status if you have travel plans. Let's check in now with meteorologist Karen Rogers and the AccuWeather forecast. That's the dream, right? To have travel plans right before blizzard.
I have a daughter trying to fly home that I've been so worried about. I think we start off with rain to start, Trish. The trouble is those strong winds, and you got to be careful when they kick in. So no wonder that they're talking about grounding those flights. So let's talk about what you need to know. Rain and wet flakes to start us off. That's what we have right now, and that continues for a while. So when do we see a change in this? The change to snow happens during the afternoon. I think 3, 4 o'clock looks to be the time frame of that. The height of the storm about 7 p.m. to 6 a.m. I have to say the timeline, the change, that has not really changed much over the past couple of days. What is changing is that this low is coming close to us. It is more intense, and we're going to get even stronger winds with this. And that's why we have blizzard warnings now, even in the city of Philadelphia. First time that we've seen that in Philadelphia since 2016. It's been 10 years. In the Lehigh Valley, there's a storm warning for the northwest suburbs and the Lehigh Valley. Storm tracker showing, yeah, some light rain, a few wet flakes, nothing threatening. You could drive around and it's no problem, but I want you to get off the roads by the afternoon hours, especially late afternoon when those temperatures drop. We're almost at 40 degrees right now. So we have stayed mild, not just yesterday when we hit 52, but all night long. Those first flakes, when it does change to snow, they're going to melt on the mild, wet ground. Then we're going to see it pile up after that. So by 4 o'clock, you have that change to snow, but the temperature's still about 36. It's getting wet. It's getting kind of sloppy at first. By 7 o'clock, you see the intensity of the storm. That temperature drops to the freezing mark or a little below. And even at night, we continue with that heavy snow all night long, and that's the problem and why it piles up. So let's look at the afternoon. Cloudy skies at 8 with some light rain and wet flakes. Still some light rain at lunchtime. The temperature's 38. Change to snow at 4. It's still about 36 degrees, but that temperature drops at 8 o'clock. You have those blizzard conditions. That continues through the night, Trish. We'll talk totals. We'll show you hour by hour, kind of in the 7-day in just a few minutes.
All right, Karen, thank you. People are stocking up and preparing for what could be the most significant winter storm to hit the Jersey Shore in years. Crews are getting ready for possible whiteout conditions and power outages. Reporter Anthony Carlo from our sister station WABC is in Long Branch, Monmouth County with more.
It's home to summer's best memories and winter's worst nightmares. The Jersey Shore is bracing for a big one. Connie asked for a hand stocking up on water because she'll need a free hand for a shovel.
I wish I was back in Florida right now. I think it's 88 degrees right now. Look, like everyone else, you just have your supplies, bunker down, stay safe. What happens with us is the ice builds up and our tree lines break the electric and we run out of heat.
Folks in the Monmouth County beachside city of Long Branch are preparing to see their beautiful boardwalk overcome by blizzard conditions they haven't seen in 4 years.
We need to be prepared. We need to be safe. Get water, get all of your charging done with your devices, stay off the roads. We're getting a lot of snow.
Governor Mikey Sherrill declaring a state of emergency for all Jersey's 21 counties. How quickly can they clear the Garden State Parkway and Jersey Turnpike? That'll be the challenge. First responders are gearing up for everything.
This includes snowmobiles, high-wheeled vehicles, which all enhance our response capabilities to help any problems anywhere throughout our state.
Officials say the winter storm's impact will be widespread, but blizzard warnings have been issued specifically for the eastern coast.
This means we can see sustained winds of 35 to 50 miles an hour, combined with blowing snow.
How long do you think we'll be stuck with kids home from school? That's a good question. That's the main question I have.
Dad's thinking about how long he'll be cooped up. New Jersey Transit, on the other hand, is trying to determine how well it will be able to keep people moving.
It is our expectation that we will run a full service on bus, light rail, and trains into tomorrow. And should the weather allow us to continue into Monday morning, we will do that. But again, this is something that we have to monitor very closely.
The state's Emergency Operations Center will be activated at a level 2 beginning at noon Sunday to monitor issues across the state, including power outages. In Long Branch, Anthony Carlo, Channel 6, Action News.
And Delaware will not be spared from this storm. There are also blizzard warnings for the shoreline there. The state's Emergency Operations Center will be activated beginning at 5 p.m. today. They are encouraging everyone to avoid driving on the roads until the storm has ended. Meanwhile, here in the city, many residents spent the day stocking up. They packed grocery and hardware stores looking to pick up those last-minute essentials, all while snow was still left over from the last storm. Action News reporter Sharifa Jackson has more.
Fine. Roxbury's pretty good.
As dirty snow still lingers on the sides of roads and sidewalks, we met Joe Pasquarello in Roxborough, making the last-minute effort to clear his property.
You're trying to get this removed as much as you can before
we get the next snowstorm.
Very few are excited to welcome more snow like Enola Vance.
I'm tired.
Tired of it.
I'm tired.
We met her stocking up on more de-icing products at Stanley's True Value on Ridge Avenue in Roxborough.
Initially, I said I have enough, and then when they started talking 4 to 12 inches, I said, I better get a little more.
She's one of many who had the same idea.
From the time we opened up, we had customers lined up buying salt, buying blended products, and we've been busy ever since.
Shoppers also filled the Acme and Lower Merion. The grocery rush follows warnings about the storm's expected impact, with the potential to bring up to a foot of snow in some areas. Snow emergencies have been declared in communities across suburban Pennsylvania, including Bensalem Township, Falls Township, and East Norriton, to name a few.
We just started to see the grass. Everything melted because of the rain. If it was some more rain, that would have been great, but snow, no, not prepared.
But she did manage to get out of her home for a few things, as she and everyone else in the region prepares to hunker down once again.
So I had to make sure my mother had picked up her medication, got her some ginger rolls. Comfort food, Girl Scout cookies is always the best.
Sharifa Jackson, Channel 6, Action News.
Here are some reminders. If you live in Philadelphia, you must clear a 3-foot wide path on the sidewalk within 6 hours of the snow ending. Do not shovel or sweep the snow into the street. The city fine for an uncleared sidewalk is $50 minimum. It can max out at $300 for each violation. If you are headed out, SEPTA says it plans to continue running its trains, buses, and trolleys as long as conditions allow. The agency says it could suspend some lines if things worsen. Amtrak is modifying its service through Monday due to the winter storm. And PATCO says they will operate a normal Sunday schedule, but will operate at reduced speeds once the storm starts. Their snow schedule will begin at 4:30 Monday morning. Along with tuning into Action News, you can monitor the storm on the free 6ABC app. It gives you full access to live interactive radar, so you know exactly what to expect in your neighborhood when that winter storm moves in. Turning now to our AccuWeather alert. Snow is set to begin falling in our area soon. As we have mentioned, this is the type of heavy, wet snow that will be more difficult to shovel, which can be dangerous and lead to injuries. Doctors suggest taking it slow and keeping up with the shoveling as snow begins to pile up. Try to push the snow if you can rather than lifting it. If you do need to lift it, make sure you're only partially filling the shovel and lift with your legs, not with your back, and don't work to the point of exhaustion. Make sure you take breaks throughout the cleanup process. Meteorologist Karen Rogers is here now more with this storm. Karen, this is one of those storms where you want to check in on your neighbors too.
It's such a good idea. Think of the kids, think of the elderly. You mentioned the shoveling, and I'm so glad. This is what we tend to call heart attack snow because it's so difficult to lift this heavy snow. What's new this morning? We now have blizzard warnings not only for the coastline, but interior South Jersey, in Delaware, in Philadelphia, in Bucks County, in Lower Montgo, and in the Poconos. What's changed? This low is coming closer to us with really intense winds. So what you need for blizzard conditions is to have 3 hours of that snow blowing so hard that over 35 miles an hour that it reduces visibility. And I think that's what we'll see. We watch this low track up the coast. Now, right now the winds are calm. This is no problem just yet. But then we see 4 o'clock this afternoon, those strong winds really kicking in, and more so by 8, 9 o'clock when we are at the height of that storm. Then it stays that strong through the overnight hours. Let's show you what's happening right now. So right now we've got the calm winds. Right now we've got a little drizzle going on. We've got a couple of wet flakes. No big deal. You need to run your errands still. You still have plenty of time during the day. As we widen out a little bit, sure, we see precipitation here, but we're not on the verge of having blizzard conditions just yet. That happens later today. So what are we battling? One thing we're battling is the temperatures. It was 52 yesterday. That ground is really mild. Right now it's almost 40. We have not been even near freezing for a while. 37 in Allentown, 39 in the city, 40 in Cape May with that snow coming in. And that's not just now, that's even at lunchtime today. Okay, so we have rain and some wet snow here. Then we watch 3, 4 o'clock. Okay, the storm's starting to intensify. You see that snow overtaking the region, yet still we're in the upper 30s. So it's still at this point just kind of sloppy, but it might be hard to see driving it around. That's why we have the blizzard conditions you need to watch. But it's not piling up yet. It's 37 degrees on a mild ground. Then we get into 7, 8 o'clock. Okay, so now we drop to the freezing mark. Now we have the intensity of that storm kicking in, and you're getting 1 to 2 inches of snowfall an hour, even some thunder snow possible. I mean, that's how intense the storm is. 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, starting to taper off, but here's the one thing that's different too. I do think some spots still accumulate, even though, okay, you look at this, you see it's not as intense as it was during the night, 6 in the morning, but still we could be accumulating some snow because you really don't get above freezing till maybe lunchtime or so. So we watch that snow kind of slowly pull out of here. So let's look at it hour by hour as you head out. You're in the upper 30s, much of the day really. You have that rain coming down, then you have rain and wet flakes. At 3 o'clock it's transitioned to snow, but it's still about 37 degrees. But stay off the roads because it's hard to see coming down. And then you get to 6, 7 o'clock, you really want to be off the roads because you're at freezing mark. So now you have all that snow and it's really starting to pile up. I was about 2 seconds away from changing these numbers, but I just look at the latest model runs that are starting to come down a little. Not because the storm's not intense, it is. That's why we have blizzard warnings. It's intense. But the trouble is you're fighting off the mild ground. You're fighting off that air temperature that's going to be slow to drop. So 4 to 8 inches in the Lehigh Valley, 8 to 12 in the city. And I think we got a good shot at that 12, which doesn't happen too often in the city. But 12 plus if you're along the coastline. I think probably the height of the storm totals will be north of Atlantic City. Let's look at what you can expect. Your exclusive AccuWeather 7-day rain and snow showers. Not really a big deal till you get to late afternoon. Stay off the roads. By 7 o'clock, it's piling up, and then it piles up all night long. All night long, we have windy, heavy rain and snow, heavy snow through the area, although that temperature just about a degree below freezing. It continues through Monday morning. It tapers off, but you still accumulate Monday, so I think you're still adding an inch or so through the late morning hours. And then the afternoon is drier. Tuesday, partly sunny, breezy, 34, 44 with, yes, rain and snow showers, because that's what we need on Wednesday. Thursday, a little unsettled. Hey, just jump to Saturday, 52. Is going to feel good.
Yeah, let's do that.
And finally do some melting. So this has been so complex.
It's kept us on our toes for sure.
And for us, and to watch all of these models that have been struggling for so long, and we're still going to watch it evolve. This is the important part. So we'll be here live, kind of going through it, and we see how it happens.
Okay, we appreciate all your hard work.
Thanks.
We'll be right back.
Action News, Philadelphia's leading news program.
A blizzard warning is now in effect for much of our area, including Philadelphia. We are bracing for a heaping of snow, possibly a rare foot of snow in Philadelphia and more at parts of the Jersey and Delaware shores. Let's get right to meteorologist Karen Rogers with the latest word on this approaching nor'easter. Karen.
And you don't often say the words blizzard warning and raining at the same time, but that's what's happening right now. We still have mild air. It's raining. Let's go right now outside. And yeah, those are wet boards on the boardwalk there as we look down the shore with our live Sky 6 camera there, and you see the flag blowing in the breeze. The breeze has already started to pick up a little bit along the coastline, but we'll do more so through the day. Let's look at this warnings. We've got the blizzard warnings for Philadelphia, the whole I-95 corridor, for all of New Jersey, for all of Delaware, and even for Bucks County and the Poconos. Blizzard warnings are rare for Philadelphia. Last time was in 2016, back in January 22nd, 23rd, a decade ago. You need 35-mile-an-hour winds for 3 hours straight, with the snow blowing or coming down enough to reduce visibility to less than a quarter of a mile for 3 hours. So it's really about those strong winds blowing the snow around, and that's really the problem, that this storm is going to be intense. Some signs of the intensity, even though we have no sign just yet of the colder air, the intensity is down near Atlantic City. In Dover, you're starting to see some of those yellows and orange showing the storm starting to ramp up. A couple of wet flakes flying around elsewhere north and west, but not a big deal. The storm has yet to really take shape. The low is way down to the south. It's going to come up the coast and then just really intensify so close to us that's why we get hit with that changeover from rain to snow. So we look at temperatures right now. We're sitting at 40 degrees after 52 yesterday. Not a great setup for more than a foot of snow, which is why we've been holding our numbers. 36 in Allentown, 39 on the boardwalk in Atlantic City right now. But those temperatures fall through the day as the storm really ramps up. So at 1 o'clock, it's still just rain through the area, about 37 degrees. At 3 o'clock, you have that change over to wet snow, but that temperature still above freezing. It's just coming down so heavily, you're seeing that change over to snow. 5 o'clock, the winds are picking up. Temperature still 36, but you've got that blowing snow around. And at 7 o'clock, 32 degrees. It's accumulating through the region and through the night, Trish. We'll talk numbers and totals. I'll take you hour by hour. We've got a lot to get you prepared for, and that's coming up in a few minutes.
All right, we'll get to you later, Karen. Thank you so much. This incoming nor'easter is daunting, carrying the potential to knock out power and cut off roads for hours, if not days. Unlike the storm that crippled the area for more than a week, this one is expected to dump heavy snow that will be life-threatening for some people to shovel. Action News reporter Cheyenne Corinne has made it to Atlantic City, which is in the bullseye zone for the most snow. Cheyenne.
Trish, well, now the entire state of New Jersey is under a state of emergency as we brace for this major winter storm. You can already see here in Atlantic City, it is cold, windy, and raining, and this is just the beginning because officials say that this storm could be historic.
Holy poop! That's a lot of snow! You're going to have to get the plows going, and it's going to be days. We haven't seen our grass for over a month.
And now more snow is coming to our area tonight. AccuWeather is forecasting blizzard conditions at the shore, along with 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts.
So far, it's just rainy and wet, and but I know it's coming.
Officials in Atlantic City say they have not seen a dangerous storm like this since 2016. Some main concerns down the shore are flooding and beach erosion.
Utility workers will be out. If your utilities go out, call your public utilities company. They have called in mutual aid from other states. They have people on standby. Don't anticipate somebody else has called about it. Call it in so that they can best identify where the outages are as quickly as possible.
To prepare, officials say crews have already pre-treated the roads and will continue to work throughout the storm.
I left early. I missed the snow, and you're going to get it. So happy day, make snow angels, and enjoy life.
Today, people such as this crew traveling home to Virginia tried to get on the road early before snowfall.
We are ready to go. Maybe a quick stop by the grocery store when I get back.
I fly out Tuesday, and I'm hoping things get cleared up after the big hit Monday.
Just stay home, get off the road.
You heard him, and that's also what the governor is asking people to please stay at home because the road conditions are expected to be dangerous. Actually, in just a few moments, we are expecting to receive an update from her. We're live in Atlantic City. Cheyenne Karen, Channel 6 Action News. Trish.
I think we all need some of that gentleman's energy as we head into this snowstorm. Cheyenne, thank you. Well, Philadelphia's snow emergency begins at 4 p.m. today. As Karen mentioned, a blizzard warning is in effect right now for the city and the Pennsylvania suburbs. If you park on a snow emergency route in Philadelphia, move your car to a lot or it will be ticketed and relocated. We're posting the parking authority's $5 lot locations on 6abc.com/links. Here's Mayor Sherelle Parker on the city's plan of attack for this latest hard punch from Old Man Winter.
At the height of this weather event, Philadelphia, more than 1,000 personnel and over 800 pieces of equipment will be deployed across our city. We checked and we have, did you say about 25,000 tons of salt that's on reserve?
Many times during the big storms, the city's smaller neighborhood streets remain impassable for days. Carlton Williams is part of the mayor's team.
In order for us to get to those locations, it's going to take us some time. So I'm asking for your patience as we work to navigate through our tight streets in those areas. You'll hear from some of the tips. Please watch your parking. You know it's a snow emergency, so please do not park on those routes.
Williams urges drivers to not park near corners because that makes it harder for snow removal crews to get around. The city's also bringing in a second snow melter and possibly a third to help get rid of the snow. The city has set up a website allowing you to track where the plows have gone through. The site is streetsmart.phl.phila.gov. Philadelphia residents can also call 311 to request plowing or salting. Monday will be a virtual learning day for students in the school district of Philadelphia. We'll pass along the decision from schools in the Archdiocese of Philadelphia as soon as we get that. SEPTA says it will stay up and running as long as possible, but like the last big storm, suspensions or shutdowns on all modes of transit is a possibility. We're about to get an update from New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill updating the press on plans for the nor'easter. And I'm especially pleased to report that our New Jersey Devil Jack Hughes was truly the hero of the day. That is your good news. Unfortunately, now we are going to turn to the situation here on the ground in New Jersey, and I really appreciate everyone joining us for this important storm update. With me here today is New Jersey State Police Acting Superintendent and State Director of Emergency Management David Sorotowicz, Department of Transportation Acting Commissioner Priya Jain, President and CEO of New Jersey Transit and Executive Director of New Jersey Turnpike Authority Chris Calori, New Jersey Board of Public Utilities Director of Reliability and Security Frank Gaffney. Yesterday, I declared a state of emergency beginning at noon today for all 21 counties. As we are preparing for this dangerous storm, we have heard significantly worsening forecasts. This morning, I was briefed again by the National Weather Service and will continue to receive those briefings throughout the day. The entire state of New Jersey, all 21 counties is under a blizzard warning for the first time in 30 years. This is likely to be the worst storm that we have seen since 1996. There is a 90% likelihood of the whole state getting a foot of snow or more. The coast especially could see 2 or more feet, along with a flooding risk. The worst is expected overnight into tomorrow morning, when snowfalls could reach as much as 3 inches per hour. To put that in perspective, our January storm, which was considered a very bad storm at its height, had about 1 inch per hour. So these are considerably worse conditions that we are facing even from that bad storm in January. So I've been saying to people,
If you've seen one storm this winter, you've seen one storm this winter. This is going to be very different. It is a serious storm, so please take it seriously. Stay inside. Get off the roads tonight. In our last storm, I said don't travel if you don't have to. Now I'm just saying don't travel tonight. It's dangerous. This is a very heavy, wet snow. There are incredibly high winds, up to 60 miles per hour. That means that we could see branches and trees falling into the highway, drifts and whiteout conditions. It will be incredibly dangerous. Do not travel tonight. It's time to stay home. Let the road crews, emergency workers, and utility workers do their jobs. At 3 p.m., a commercial vehicle ban will take effect on all of our highways except the Turnpike, which is an interstate highway. I'm now announcing speed restrictions of 35 miles per hour, which will also take effect at 3 p.m. For now, New Jersey Transit is still running buses and trains. It'll work to do so throughout the day so people can get home safely. But we will be suspending service at 6 p.m. today on all buses, light rail, and access link. Currently, we expect trains to run into this evening, but we are likely to suspend service sometime tonight, and we'll be announcing that. This storm is too serious to have people and workers out on public transit in the worst of it. We are also, as I said, expecting severe gale force winds of up to 60 miles per hour along the coast, 45 miles per hour inland. Again, this is different from our last storm. These winds are much stronger. We also anticipate that wet, heavy snow will cause power outages throughout the state as branches and trees fall. The Board of Public Utilities is working with utility providers to be ready. But please, if your electricity goes out, report that power outage to your public utility. Don't wait for your neighbor to do so. That will enable our public utility companies to respond as quickly as possible and get New Jerseyans back up and online. We are going to get through this, but please heed the warnings and stay off the roads. Your safety is my top priority. I've directed our transportation heads to clear state roads as fast and as efficiently as possible. Across New Jersey, we have 101,000 tons of salt for the Turnpike and Parkway alone. That is on top of what the counties have, and we have checked with all of our emergency managers in all of our counties to ensure they have their salt. We have 350,000 tons for the other state roads. 4,500 pieces of equipment are deployed and ready to go. We have thousands of crews and contractors in place. Their trucks are loaded and ready to go. All of these workers deserve our thanks. As we saw in our last storm, New Jersey is lucky to have the best public servants in the nation. We have people from our DPW, our Departments of Public Works, troopers, and transit and utility workers spread out across the state to keep people safe and to keep New Jersey moving. Let's also not forget that our FEMA workers who are embedded with our emergency managers are now working without pay due to the current administration's inability to keep the government open, so they too deserve a debt of gratitude. All of these workers deserve our thanks. We can repay them by staying off the roads so that they can do their jobs. Our State Emergency Operations Center will be staffed 24/7 in all 21 counties, and the Lieutenant Colonel will share more about this next. But first, I said it yesterday, I'm going to say it again, stay off the roads. Stay home, keep your phones and computers charged, stay in tomorrow, check in on your neighbors, especially the elderly. State offices are closed for Monday. Follow your telework protocols. Go to ready.nj.gov for information on warming centers and roads. We'll keep monitoring the situation. I'll continue speaking to you throughout this storm and its aftermath. So now I'm going to turn it over to Acting Superintendent of the State Police, David Sirotowicz.
Thank you, Governor.
You've been listening to Governor Mikey Sherrill announcing speed restrictions for the state of New Jersey starting at 3 p.m. The entire Garden State is now under a state of emergency because of this incoming snowstorm. Well, the storm is also causing major headaches at the airport. We just checked the numbers. Currently, more than 330 flights in and out of PHL are canceled today. Around 500 are already canceled for tomorrow as well. We spoke with officials at PHL who say crews are on standby now, ready to get to work when the flakes start falling.
Crews try to stay ahead of it as much as possible, so clearing it as it's falling, starting to really when it starts to lay and gets to a few inches, they start working to clear it so that they're ahead of it.
Meantime, passengers are now left stranded as they wait out the storm. The action cam stopped by the airport this morning where we found some frustrated travelers. Airport officials say it could take a few days for operations to catch up and return to normal. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro is set to speak very shortly about the plan to handle the incoming nor'easter in Pennsylvania. We are standing by for that from PEMA headquarters in Harrisburg. Well, Delaware will not be spared from this storm. There are also blizzard warnings for the shoreline there. The state's Emergency Operations Center will be activated beginning at 5 p.m. today. They are encouraging everyone to avoid driving on the roads until the storm has ended. Now, as we've mentioned, this is the type of heavy, wet snow that will be more difficult to shovel, which can be dangerous and lead to injuries. Doctors suggest taking it slow and keeping up with shoveling as snow begins to pile up. Try to push the snow if you can rather than lifting it. And if you do need to lift it, make sure you only partially fill the shovel and lift with your legs, not your back. And don't work to the point of exhaustion. Make sure you take breaks throughout this cleanup process. Now, along with tuning into Action News, you can monitor the storm on the free 6ABC app. It gives you full access to live interactive radar so you know exactly what to expect in your neighborhood when the storm moves in. We will have you covered all day today, and then our live team coverage continues Monday morning with the Action News morning team. Join Matt, Aliana, Karen, and Matt beginning at 4 a.m. for the latest on the storm conditions. We're going to go to meteorologist Karen Rogers now with the very latest information on what the storm is doing now.
And I'm glad you showed earlier those shots of Brittany's. We were talking about the forecast. We really work as a team behind the scenes on the air. We are constantly texting and calling each other and working towards this forecast here. And this is a major storm. Let's kind of break down what you can expect. Today, we start with rain. We've got that right now. As we had forecasted, it changes to snow in the afternoon. Hasn't happened just yet. It's just wet out there right now. The heaviest snow and wind arrives this evening through tomorrow morning. So you have this evening, tonight, overnight through tomorrow morning, all to get that accumulating snow. Tomorrow we have lingering light snow showers. It's much less intense, but nonetheless, it's an issue. I think they're mostly east of I-95. That blizzard warning continues until 6 o'clock. I think the National Weather Service did that, concerned about some blowing snow. I'm not sure how much it's going to blow since it's wet and heavy, but it's something you really have to watch for. And we'll be tracking those visibilities. No issues with visibilities right now. It's just rain, but the wind is starting to pick up. This is new, just coming in this hour. So, okay, we're starting to see 25-mile-an-hour wind gusts. That could double during the height of this storm. So Storm Tracker 6 showing through the area we're seeing rain, and just now you're starting to get some wet flakes trying to mix in Dover, Delaware, but it's still about 40 degrees, so that's just melting at the surface. But you can kind of see a little bit more intensity in this shot. You see those areas of yellow and orange, just some rain in the city. We had a few wet flakes earlier, north and west, nothing significant just yet. That storm is just getting ready to ramp up as it tracks up the coastline, hugs close enough to us that we really get the intensity of that storm. So it's just rain right now, but then you look by afternoon hours between 2 and 4 o'clock, you're starting to see that change over to snow. Snowing everywhere, but look at the numbers. It's still the upper 30s through the region. It's mostly just melting at the surface at that point, but it doesn't mean it's not hard to see, and that's what that blizzard warning is all about. You've got the wind, you've got these flakes blowing around, you could have whiteout conditions. 7 o'clock, okay, now you're at the freezing mark. So now you still have that snow coming down, but now it's really starting to accumulate. It's starting to stick to the roads. At first, the roads are just wet anyway because it's been so mild, but you're starting to get to that freezing mark and starting to see that snow accumulate all night long into about 6 o'clock in the morning. Here's a look at 6. You can kind of eyeball this and say it doesn't look as intense tomorrow morning, right? Tomorrow when you wake up, better come in at 4 a.m. I don't want to be there for nothing, so come watch me at 4. North and west are already dry. That snow is coming down east of the city, and then we see those wraparound bands. I don't think you get much more accumulation during the day, but you do get some snow showers through the day, especially east of the city, even until 2 o'clock or so. So looking at the hour by hour, we're in the upper 30s right now, near about 40 degrees. So it's just rain right now, transitions to some wet flakes, but it starts to get really windy too. So it becomes hard to see if you're trying to drive around. Then you hit that freezing mark about 7 and you hold there. We don't get much below freezing, but you hold there. We've really been holding with our numbers as well. 4 to 8 inches. I just don't think you see much north and west out of this. Not as much as you will in the city or east. 8 to 12 inches for the core of our area. For South Jersey, for the coast and part of Delaware, about 12 to 18 inches of snow. So a significant amount of snow, and also coastal flooding that could be moderate through the region. So that's something to watch as well with these strong winds. Your exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast, rain and snow showers, 40 degrees for your high. It continues tonight. Tonight we level off to that freezing mark. We stay there or dip just a little below it all night. And that snow and wind continue. Don't want to be driving around. We have those whiteout conditions. Tomorrow it's just some lighter snow showers that linger kind of on and off, especially east of the city, and wrap up in the afternoon. Partly sunny, breezy Tuesday. Some more rain and snow showers Wednesday. Thursday, we do have periods of rain. Looks wet. That'll help to wash it away. 43 on Friday and very nice on Saturday. I've been hearing from a lot of viewers that it's kind of a little confusing to people because our numbers are about half of what some other organizations may be putting out. But we do our own forecasting as a team, and we feel good about these numbers right now. It was 52 degrees yesterday. It's 40 today.
It's been a strange
situation. The first bit of it is going to be melting, and so that's what we're taking.
We've been working hard all week, so we appreciate the forecasting.
Thanks.
Karen, thank you. And Karen, here's one more check on that final approaching storm. It's going to be a doozy.
It is. That thought of spring, though, that was a lifesaver, right? I think the flower show is going to do well this year, guys. Let's take a look at Storm Tracker. Yeah, we see that rain through the area. It's just rain right now. We're at 40 degrees. So you can see that number, 40, even in the Lehigh Valley, 36, 37. You're almost at 40 on the boardwalk. You need those temperatures to fall before it changes to snow. I think that happens through the late afternoon. You have that change, but even then it's wet snow. It's still 36 degrees. It's just melting out there, but that doesn't mean it's not hard to see. And the wind is picking up through the day. At 5 o'clock, the winds pick up even more. You have 36 degrees still. It's just wet snow coming down, but then by 7, you drop to that freezing mark. And that's when I think you really start accumulating, Trish, from 7 o'clock through the overnight hours. Looks to 8 to 12 inches for the core of our region, more towards the shoreline. It wraps up tomorrow.
All right, Karen, thank you. And we are waiting to hear from Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro with an update on this storm. We are expecting to hear from him from Harrisburg any moment. You can watch that live on 6abc.com when that happens. NBA Sunday Showcase is next on Channel 6. Action News continues at 6 o'clock tonight. Now for Karen Rogers, Peyton Domschke, Caroline Goggin, and the entire Action News team, I'm Trish Hartman. Have a great Sunday and be careful out there.
Hey, Facebook friends. It is about 5 o'clock on Sunday, February 22nd. I'm here in the Action News Weather Center in our studio, forecasting the blizzard of 96. I almost said 2026. Hey, come on in, Paul. That's a Freudian slip for me. So, I'll let people get on. I want to show you what's happening with Storm Tracker right now. Is Brittany still on weather 6? Yeah. You want me to get on 3? Yeah. Sorry, all right. Hold on, let me flip this around and talk to people. Paul is here, Brittany is here, and right now our forecast is on track. So it did arrive earlier today, light rain as expected for most of our viewing area. And then it's like Mother Nature just flipped a switch and the cold air is collapsing in, changed it to the snow, and now we are starting to see that snow accumulating. So Storm Tracker 6 live. Now where you see the darker blue, those are the bands of the darker snow, the white, that's the lighter stuff. And as the storm intensifies, we're going to see a lot more of this banding setting up. Let me show you. So first of all, that Sky 6 obviously is wrong, but show you the Sky 6s. This is across the Ben Franklin Parkway. Snow is falling. It's kind of accumulating on the sidewalks. Roads still right there, mainly wet. Anything treated is mainly wet. But then here's the boardwalk. Wait, there we go. Ocean City starting to accumulate. Cape May, Patience is in Cape May, and so all our Sky 6 except for the wrong one that's frozen, showing that, yeah, it's here. And the actual low pressure right now is off the coast of, like, kind of near Norfolk. And what's going to happen, let me try to find this here. Actually, I'll talk about the blizzard stuff first. But it's going to be intensifying. So it's going to be phasing, and there's this bomb cyclone saying that bombogenesis. So what happens is it intensifies very quickly, and that will be happening tonight. So we're all under some kind of winter alert. Now, where we have the red, those are blizzard warnings. First time in 20 years that we've had a blizzard warning for Philadelphia, all of New Jersey under a blizzard warning. Last time that happened was 30 years ago, and all of Delaware. So the blizzard warning is related to the winds. We're going to have the possibility of winds, either sustained or frequent gusts of at least 35 miles an hour for at least 3 hours, reducing visibility. So that's why it's really good to stay off the roads tonight and early tomorrow. Yeah, I know. I did mean the blizzard of 2026. Barry, I said that's a Freudian slip. So this is our snowfall map. And I know I've had a lot of people asking why other outlets have higher totals, because the models are still kind of all over the place. And we are taking into account some initial melting because the boundary layers are pretty warm. I mean, it was 52 yesterday. We were around 40 earlier. I know, I'll have to edit my post. Everyone's telling me that. It's like I've gone back in time. But I feel really good about our totals right now. So closer to the coast, a foot to a foot and a half, which is kind of an upside down storm, because a lot of times this is the area where you see lower totals. We've been kind of toying with, should we do a zone of 18 plus, like maybe near Tom's River? Not sure we're going to bite on that quite yet. Not out of the question. I-95 corridor, 8 to 12 inches. And then the northwest suburbs, it looks like there is going to be a cutoff about 4 to 8 inches. So there's likely something set up, which is kind of an inverted trough, a deformation zone, where we're going to get some banding where it'll set up, and that's where overnight it's really, really going to be starting to pile up. So let me show you future tracker. So as we head through tonight, it's almost like almost a tropical system with this low pressure. So this is by 10 o'clock. So you can see the feeder bands pushing in, temperatures around 32. So this is why this is not going to be a light, fluffy snow. This is going to be a very heavy, wet snow, because we're not talking about temperatures, you know, in the 20s or teens or single digits. So as we head into the wee hours of the morning, it does start to cut off areas to the west, but it is still thumping along the coast. So by about 7 o'clock, we still get some of that banding along the coast. And then finally, as we head into the afternoon, snow showers are out of here. So, yep, someone's asking me what we're saying with this is our snowfall total. So wide area of 8 to 12 inches. And I know that there's been a lot of people putting like the GFS snowfall maps up that were crazy. Those totals have been cut in half. The GFS has gone from 30 inches to more like 11 inches. So I think we're pretty much in line with the Euro AI, which has done really well this winter. And again, 12 to 18 inches along the coast, 4 to 8 inches areas north and west. I know everyone likes to see these. I do want to talk about the winds, because these are going to be a factor, and this is part of why we're concerned about coastal flooding. Hold on, I got to find it. I'm looking through all our shows here. Here we go. I'll talk about coastal flooding. Somebody's asking, you're working till 7. How bad is it going to be getting home? I'm not sure where you are, but we've got very reduced visibility and some heavy snow cranking up. If your area is north and west, it'll be easier. And it also depends on your car. If you can avoid staying off the roads, like once between sunset and sunrise, I think that would be a good idea. So coastal flood warnings are posted along the shore. Moderate coastal flooding possible. So if you do live here, you definitely do want to make sure that you move your cars to higher ground. And these are the high tide cycles. So you can see this is around midnight, moderate and possibly major coastal flooding at Cape May Harbor. All right, so the nice thing about this storm, I want to jump to the 7-day, is that unlike the storm we had in January, temperatures are going to be bumping up. So we're 38 tomorrow, so even some melting tomorrow. It is going to be cold on Tuesday, but slightly above freezing. And then we do get into the 40s. Now, Wednesday and Thursday looks like we do have some features that are going to be moving through, could give us some snow Wednesday morning. Thursday, rain or snow late in the day. Right now, the models are all over the place where the system is going to be setting up. Once we get past that, though, look at next weekend. We're in the 50s. So the good news is that we do get melting that's going to be going on. Next weekend, like a lot of this is going to be melting away. So it's a very different storm from the last one. Somebody wants to know if they're going to have power outages. I would prepare for the possibility of power outages. I mean, the good thing is that we don't have any leaves on the trees. But when you're talking about the combination of that wet, heavy snow and high winds, prepare for them. I think the closer you are to the coast, the better chance of power outages. So starting to stick on the roads in upper Montgomery County, says Mark. Be careful with that. Angel appreciates the update. Thank you. So we will be on the air at 6 o'clock tonight. And then are we going to be on at 7? Has that been decided? I know we're streaming at 7 on 6abc.com. I'm not sure if we're actually going to be on the air. We don't want to interrupt important network programming. And then at 10 and 11 o'clock, definitely. Bob says nice in Tampa. I was in Fort Lauderdale yesterday. I came back a little bit early for the storm. And yeah, the Florida weather has been fantastic. So stay safe, my friends. Stay tuned as we watch the storm develop. I think we are just in the initial phases of it. And I think that we'll really see the snow intensity cranking up and the winds cranking up as we head through the overnight hours. I know, I'll fix my title. I know, that was a total Freudian slip. I'm so used to saying blizzard of 96. No, 2026. All right, take care, guys. Hope you watch the news. I will be here.
Action News, Philadelphia's leading news program with meteorologist Brittany Boyer and Walter Perez.
Here we go. The blizzard of 2026 has arrived across the Delaware Valley. It is Sunday night. I'm Walter Perez.
And I'm Sarah Bloomquist. The big story on Action News is the blizzard conditions that could stretch from the city of Philadelphia to the Jersey Shore and into Delaware.
That's right. This winter storm has quickly evolved over the past 48 hours. This is the most updated snow totals map from AccuWeather. Higher snow totals have gradually made their way west.
The coasts of New Jersey and Delaware are getting the brunt of the storm, with up to 18 expected inches by tomorrow morning. Tidal flooding is also a major concern. This was the scene earlier today in North Wildwood. Action News viewer Danielle Cohen, who took this video, says the snow there started falling and falling fast.
Our team of meteorologists has been keeping an eye on the system all throughout the week, and this one has proven tricky to nail down. Cecily, Tynan, and Brittany Boyer begin our coverage tonight with the latest from AccuWeather. Cecily.
Everyone is hunkered down at home because this is going to be a very long night. It's a big storm. It's impactful and possibly historic. Now, Storm Tracker 6 live double scan showing that the storm is unfolding exactly as we expected up to this point. It started as rain across much of our viewing area. You can see it's all snow, and where you see the brighter blue, that's the heavier bands of snow. And we're going to see a lot more of these pushing in from the Atlantic as the storm continues to deepen and intensify. We've got some heavy snow moving across South Jersey, Delaware into the I-95 corridor. And notice as you get north and west, we have the lighter shades of blue and some of that white. So that's an indication that the snow is lighter here. So we do expect the heavier amounts east of Philadelphia, the lighter amounts to the west. Part of the reason why it's the way this storm is developing. We've got this low pressure that's off the coast of Delaware. We've got pieces of energy feeding into it. And there's a zone called the deformation zone across central Pennsylvania with higher lift. There's higher lift closer to the coast, so what goes up must come down. So areas northwest of Philadelphia, you'll get the sinking air, so that's why the amounts won't be quite as much. But everywhere, we're getting a lot of snow. Winter weather alerts show you that all of New Jersey under blizzard warnings, all of Delaware under blizzard warnings, and they have now been extended into parts of southeastern Pennsylvania, including Philadelphia. This is the first time in a decade Philadelphia has been under a blizzard warning. North and west, we have winter storm warnings in effect through tomorrow. So the snowfall amounts so far, right now they're modest, but these are going to be adding up. Nazareth 1.2, East Nampmere Township 1.3, Summers Point 1.7, Violent 2 inches, Atlantic City about 2.5, and Harrington, Delaware 2.6. A lot going on with this storm, and let me bring in Brittany Boyer to talk about what to expect as we head through the night, because it's going to be a very powerful system.
It will be, and we've already been watching as those snow totals have been trickling in so far, and as we look at the next couple of hours around here, this is going to be the peak. Snowfall rates around 1 to 2 inches per hour that we're going to be experiencing. Already visibility in a lot of locations under a mile, so we're seeing reduced visibility, those temperatures dropping, which means roads are going to become slippery and snow covered. If you do not have to be out, being inside is the safest place to be. Travel is not advised as we get into the peak with this system. It's going to be a big time wind producer. This is a nor'easter, so we have those northeast winds hammering the coast. I'm going to put this into motion just so you can see the magnitude of this storm as it moves its way off the coast. Look at the gusts across the Cape Cod area. Come tomorrow, winds nearly hurricane strength, and this almost gives the appearance of the eye of a hurricane. This is going to undergo bombogenesis, and that's when we have a 24 millibar drop in pressure in 24 hours. That just puts into perspective how intense this nor'easter is going to be. I mentioned those northeast winds. We are going to have a coastal flood threat. You can see around the high tide cycle near midnight, moderate coastal flooding, but down in Cape May Harbor, look at the departure from normal, 3.6 feet. There is the threat of major coastal flooding down there. And then you have to add on all of the snow we're going to experience, 4 to 8 inches for our far northwestern suburbs, the heart of the area, the I-95 corridor, 8 to 12 inches of snow, including the city of Philadelphia, and then a whopping 12 to 18 inches of snow. Sarah and Walter, this is going to be quite the storm that we're going to be dealing with the next 24 hours.
And we're just getting started at this
right.
point. All right. Thank you, Brittany.
Well, a state of emergency took effect at noon today for all 21 counties across New Jersey. It's the first time in 30 years that the entire state is under a blizzard warning.
I spoke with Governor Mikey Sherrill earlier today, and she's warning everyone to not take this storm lightly.
This is going to be the worst storm in 30 years. We haven't had blizzards predicted in all 21 counties since 1996. It's going to be a heavy, wet snow with really high winds up to 60 miles per hour. So we're worried about some of the trees and branches coming down and things like power lines as onto roads. It's going to be dangerous conditions, whiteouts.
All right, and we continue our live coverage down at the Jersey Shore tonight.
Action News reporter Toronto Thomas joins us live with current conditions in Atlantic City. Toronto.
Well, Walter and Sarah, the snow is starting to pick up here. It's definitely not the heaviest that we've seen so far, but I want you to get a sense of how steadily this snow is falling. So look up towards the light. You can see how the flakes are coming. They're very steady, but by no means not the heaviest snowfall we've ever seen, but we know that it's coming. The boardwalk, almost deserted. We've only seen a couple of people walking, some of them tourists who got stuck in Atlantic City. Other people just hunkered down at the hotels here. We have also seen snow plows out here on the boardwalk, and what a difference they've made. Right where I'm standing, it's still a bit slippery, but totally clear. If you pan over to the side, this is what the rest of the boardwalk looks like. Let me let you look at some video from Atlantic City that we took just a few minutes ago. We can tell you the ride here really varied. We saw anything from big fat flakes to very small icy flakes, but lots of wind, and that's the thing that you need to know if you're out here in Atlantic City. The wind is what's really making the difference. Some people caught off guard by this storm. Others wanted to come out and see it.
Nasty out here, of course, and really windy, but it's I just came out to see what it was like from that door to this door.
I mean, it's fun to come out here and play in the snow, but not during when the weather is like this.
Got used to that Florida weather, so was not expecting this when we came up whatsoever.
So imagine expecting Florida weather and getting this, a blizzard. So that's why we've seen people hunkered down, going into hotels, making sure they stay outside or maybe peek their head outside and then go back in. But this is certainly quite the sight to see. We are expecting to get hit with a much bigger band of snowfall at around 7 o'clock. So we'll stay out here. We'll keep an eye on the situation and bring you more throughout the evening. We are live in Atlantic City. Taronda Thomas, Channel 6 Action News. Walter and Sarah?
Yeah, we will be here on the air to keep everybody up to date throughout this. Taronda, thank you.
All right, Mayor Sherrill Parker issued a statement today declaring a disaster emergency all across the city. She says this will allow the city to, quote, more effectively fight this large and dangerous storm as it rolls in, including our ability to execute emergency management measures.
Now, the snow emergency took effect at 4 p.m. this afternoon. We also want to remind everyone that the Philadelphia School District will turn to virtual learning tomorrow. Trash and recycling will also be on a 2-day delay.
Also, the Philadelphia Parking Authority is offering a flat 24-hour $5 rate for parking garages all across Center City. Action News reporter Amanda Pitts continues our team coverage with conditions in Rittenhouse Square tonight. Amanda.
Yeah, hey, Walter and Sarah. We noticed that conditions changed from rain to sleet at almost exactly 3 o'clock here in Center City. And over the last hour, we've noticed it start to accumulate on surfaces, a little dusting here on the bushes in Rittenhouse Square, and a little coating here on the grass in the square. But conditions certainly will change as the night goes on. Take a look at the shot we got from South Street Bridge at around 5 o'clock. The wind and snow making it hard to see the river and the skyline. People we've been speaking to out and about in the city tonight said they are shocked at just how quickly conditions changed this afternoon. Many telling us they hope the city does a better job at cleaning up after this storm.
It was hard navigating after the weeks of the last storm. It was really terrible, so I hope they actually clean up this time.
I like a little bit of snow, but last time the city really struggled to clear it in our neighborhood, so I hope they're a little more responsive now, but I think they learned from last time.
We also caught up with a man from Brazil who is experiencing his first winter storm of this magnitude. Take a listen.
It's interesting because, you know, we are having summer in Brazil, and I'm here to spend a couple of weeks, so at least it's something that we don't have over there, right?
New experience.
Yes, it's a new experience.
Do you wish you were back in Brazil?
Oh yeah. Right now, yes. I'm done with snow.
I bet many of us wish we were in Brazil right now. But again, in the last hour or so here in Center City, we've noticed some accumulation, just a really light coating on surfaces like these branches here. But take a look at the road. It's been pretty clear. Up until now, we're starting to see the snow accumulate on the pavement. So that's a little sign of what's to come. Across the city, we know that city crews are stationed. They're ready to deploy to start scooping up this snow once it starts accumulating. But again, not a big coating here on the roads. Of course, that will change as the hours go on. For now, live in Center City, Amanda Pitts, Channel 6 Action News. Back to you.
Yeah, this is the part where it's pretty.
That's
and
right.
then it goes down.
That doesn't last long. Yeah.
Right? Amanda, thank you.
Well, today, Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro held a news conference to update the public on the state's preparations for this major winter storm.
He officially signed a disaster emergency proclamation for the Commonwealth, and Shapiro issued a plea to the public to give road crews the space they are going to need.
To Pennsylvanians out there, especially to our kids, I hope you enjoy the storm. I hope you have fun in the snow, but I also hope that folks take it seriously. And again, give our road crews, give our police, give our emergency management professionals the space and the ability to do what they do best, clear the snow, and ensure everyone's well-being. With that.
All right, let's take a look at the roads right now. This is the Jersey Shore. Mobile 6 is on the move with photojournalist Yuri Gershman behind the wheel. These are the latest snow conditions in Ventnor, Atlantic County. You can see the roads here. It's starting to stick a little bit on the pavement. We hadn't seen that quite yet, but it's going to stick. This area is flagged to get between 12 and 18 inches of snow at a minimum.
All right, Action News reporter Brianna Smith continues our team coverage tonight.
She joins us live now from Glassboro, Gloucester County, with more on the conditions there. It looks like it's really starting to come down, Brianna.
It is, Sarah and Walter. We've definitely seen this weather intensify. When we hit the road around 3, it was a mix of rain and snow, but now the snow is coming down hard. And if you look at the sidewalk, you can see that there is a layer of snow. And right by my boot here, you can see it's a bit slippery. So if you come outside and you have to go for a walk, make sure you take it slow. And then looking over at Delsea Drive, the snow is starting to build up on here as well and turning into slush, which is an unwelcome sight for drivers.
It's terrible. It's terrible. I'm tired of this. I'm tired of this. It's good for the kids, but I'm not kids anymore.
Residents in Gloucester County are gearing up for yet another snowstorm. But this time around, they could see more than a foot of snow and wind gusts up to 45 miles per hour.
It's bad. It just cleared up, and now it just already came back.
As the snow started to fall, Route 55 southbound was wet with low visibility, and conditions are expecting to worsen.
From Philadelphia, it was a little slick, but not too bad yet. So I just pray everybody gets to where they're going safely.
Some drivers decided to make a last-minute trip for snacks in Glassboro.
I got some pinwheels, some Cheetos, and a sandwich and some mac and cheese. I also got a sandwich. I got Dippin' Dots, my sandwich, and then a Reese's.
While some came dressed for the elements, others just broke a sweat.
Left the gym, so I'm hot. Yeah, I walked outside, everyone looked at me like I was out of my mind.
But many will feel the burn when it's time to shovel.
Oh, I wish it would stop. It's going to be so annoying to shovel.
It's aggravating. I just broke my snowblower in the last one, so now I have to force my son to hopefully shovel, so we'll see where that goes.
Yeah, and in all seriousness, when it comes time to shovel, you want to be extra careful because not only will it be inches of snow, but it's heavy and we don't want anyone to be injured. Now, we just spoke to a Gloucester County commissioner who says crews are working around the clock to clear the roads. We just saw a plow crew come by, and so he urges everyone to stay off the roads so that crews can do their jobs and make them safe. Live in Glassboro, Brianna Smith, Channel 6 Action News. Walter and Sarah.
Okay, Brianna, thank you.
Well, along with tuning into Action News, you can monitor this massive snowstorm on the free 6ABC app. It gives you full access to live interactive radar, so you know exactly what to expect right in your neighborhood.
This here is a live look from our Sky 6 camera toward the Ben Franklin Parkway. Please stay with Action News as we continue mapping out this massive snowstorm all across the Delaware Valley.
Oh, it got cold. We continue our winter storm coverage tonight with Brianna Gallagher.
That's right. Action News reporter Brianna Gallagher has latest conditions right there in King of Prussia tonight. Brianna.
Hey, Sarah. Hey, Walter. It's definitely getting a lot colder out here. And that's right. We're off at DeKalb Pike in King of Prussia right now at that Wawa. I want you guys to take a look at the road here. We're seeing things get a little bit worse. The turning lane, that is starting to get more snow covered and slushy, but DeKalb Pike right now just appears to be wet. We aren't actually seeing people take it very slow. We're seeing people drive a little bit, at least for my liking, on the faster side. However, we did talk to folks who made their way out before the storm, hoping to get out before things get too bad out there.
We probably have enough supplies to last us a year at home, but you know, my wife always wants something else.
The Sunday grocery store rush was even busier this evening as the storm moved in.
Prepared? Yes. Are we excited about it? Absolutely not.
No more eggs, run on milk. People are getting cheese. People are getting cookies. And they are taking everything they can to cook and get ready for the storm.
While most people were bundled up running their last-minute errands, what's a snowstorm if you don't see some folks out in shorts? People say after this, they are staying in until the storm is over.
This evening, relax. Tomorrow, we'll see what it does, and maybe Tuesday we'll think about digging out.
We have a snowblower, so my husband is ready for that. Yeah, and I'll be sitting inside making soup.
I like what she had to say. I agree with you. But I feel like every snowstorm in Pennsylvania, we always see people out in shorts. Back out here live in King of Prussia, the sidewalk, that is now snow covered. It was not like that about an hour or so ago, so that snow is picking up. Right now, it's still that pretty fluffy, heavy snow. The sidewalk, snow covered. You go to the parking lot here, that is getting slushy and slick. I imagine it's only going to get worse as that snow continues to accumulate here. Once again, those roads for now, mostly what we're seeing on DeKalb Pike, they're just wet. For now, we're live in King of Prussia. Brianna Gallagher at Channel 6 Action News. Walter,
that woman
Sarah.
had the right idea. That's a soup night tonight.
It is a soup night for sure.
Thank you, Brianna.
Thanks, Brianna. We'll have more Action News after this.
Action News has you covered during the blizzard of 2026. This is a live look from Sky 6 with photojournalist Yuri Gershman behind the wheel. These are the latest snow conditions down the Jersey Shore in Margate. The area could get as much as 18 inches of snow tonight into tomorrow.
Before we get to the AccuWeather alert, a quick programming note. We will be back on the air at 7 o'clock for extended coverage of this blizzard and this big winter storm moving across the region.
Time for another check of the AccuWeather forecast on this winter storm moving across the Delaware Valley. This is a live look through our Sky 6 camera toward Ocean City. A very snowy day on the beach. Not a beach day that'll come in a couple of months. Certainly not tonight.
Nobody can wait for that. Meteorologist Cecily Tynan for another update from AccuWeather, and we're in it now.
Yeah, I think a lot of us are done with winter, but winter is far from done with us. In fact, we've already had a report of 3 inches in Ocean County, New Jersey, and this storm is just starting to crank up. I love this shot, Sky 6. This is taking a look down the Ben Franklin Parkway, and you can see how the snow is falling almost kind of sideways, being pushed by the winds right in front of our camera, and those winds will be intensifying as that storm continues to deepen, and the snowfall rates will also be intensifying. It's going to be a tough night, but we are not alone. If you look at the blizzard warnings, these are in red. They extend from the Delmarva all the way up to the coast of Maine. This is more than 700 miles, and the first time in 30 years that the entire state of New Jersey is under blizzard warnings. First time in a decade that Philadelphia is under the blizzard warnings. And again, that's due to the wind and the visibility as well as the blowing snow. So Storm Tracker 6 Live showing a couple things. First of all, you can see temperatures are dropping near freezing. We were in the 50s yesterday. We were in the low 40s earlier today, and we've got a lot of that bright blue, and that's the heavier snow that's starting to crank up. Storm Tracker 6 zooming in, showing that band moving through Philadelphia, and you can notice the bands are moving from the east to the west, almost like a tropical system as we get the feeder bands blowing in from the Atlantic. Little bit of a break right along the coast, but we've got another band that's waiting, and that will be rotating in over about the next 20 minutes. And this is going to be happening through the night into tomorrow morning. Visibility is currently about as good as they'll get until mid-morning tomorrow. We have 1 mile in Philadelphia, 1.5 miles in Allentown, 3/4 mile in Trenton and Reading. This is part of the reason why we're encouraging people to stay off the roads. It's not just the road conditions, it's the fact that you're not going to be able to see anything with the blowing snow moving down at a pretty fast clip. So future tracker showing by 9 o'clock, we've got the bands of snow. Philadelphia temperatures hovering right around freezing, so that's why it's that heavy wet snow. By 1 o'clock in the morning, still heavy Philadelphia and to the east, but it's shutting off north and west, and then by 6 o'clock in the morning, it's ending western suburbs, but we still have some heavy snow along the coast. And then around lunchtime, it's tapering off to just some showers, and then it's all out of here by tomorrow evening. So as far as the amounts, 4 to 8 across the northwest suburbs. Philadelphia, I-95 region, we're going 8 to 12, and then much of South Jersey, coastal Delaware, 12 to 18 inches of that heavy wet snow. Be careful shoveling. This is kind of that back-breaking snow. So the exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast. AccuAlert tomorrow, 38 degrees. I'm running out of time. Tuesday, partly sunny, breezy, 33. Wednesday, our next chance of snow, light snow, but could impact the morning commute, 44 degrees. Thursday, still a little bit unsettled, but then sunshine's back on Friday. And look at next weekend, temperatures in the 50s. So unlike the last big storm we had in January, we are going to get a lot of melting going on.
That's good. All right.
That's one good thing about the storm.
Yep. All right. Thank you, Cecily. That'll do it for Action News at 6.
And this reminder, we will be back on the air at 7 o'clock. We're going to take a quick break. We'll see you then.
Action News, Philadelphia's leading news program.
There is currently a blizzard warning in place for much of New Jersey and the city of Philadelphia.
The worst of the storm will happen tonight and will last straight into Monday, with some areas receiving more than a foot of snow.
I said it before. Here we go. It is Sunday night. I'm Walter Perez with Sarah Bloomquist. We have extended special coverage of the blizzard of 2026 that's having an impact on the entire area.
Our team is spread out across the region to cover this nor'easter, from the Jersey Shore in Gloucester County to Philadelphia and the surrounding counties. Meteorologists Cecily Tynan and Brittany join us now in the Weather Center with the conditions right now and what we can expect moving forward through the night. Ladies?
And we finally have switched over. We started off with just a chilly rain earlier today.
I know I had a lot of people saying, where's the storm? It's like patience, because everything has changed, Brittany. Storm Tracker 6 Live double scan showing that as the storm is intensifying, it's pulling down colder air from higher in the atmosphere. So that's why we don't have rain at all. We have snow. And where you see the brighter blue, that's the heavier snow, really encompassing most of southern New Jersey through the I-95 quarter. Some of the northwest suburbs seeing some of this banding. Philadelphia right now, we've got a band of some heavier snow. It continues to push from the east to the west, and they're kind of feeder bands. It's almost like a tropical system where you get a little bit of lull in the action, and then you get another band of heavier snow. Atlantic City right now, it's lighter. You see that white, but here's that heavier band that's pushing in. And as we head through the evening hours, the snowfall will be intensifying and the winds will intensify as well. Satellite and radar showing that low pressure. It's off the Delmarva right now. And what's happening, there's a piece of energy that's diving in, that's feeding that low pressure. So it's strengthening, it's deepening, and as it does, it'll slowly be moving north, northeast, hugging the coast. So blizzard warnings are in effect for the entire state of New Jersey. Last time that happened was during the blizzard of '96. I remember that well. Also, all of Delaware and also extended into southeastern Pennsylvania, including Philadelphia. First blizzard warning for the city in more than a decade. So what is a blizzard? It doesn't have anything to do with the snow that's falling. It's more about the wind and visibility. To get a bona fide blizzard, you need at least 3 hours of winds gusting up to 35 miles per hour with falling and blowing snow, and that reduces visibility to less than a quarter mile. We don't have that yet, but as that storm intensifies, we're expecting that. Snowfall totals right now, they're pretty modest. This will be changing anywhere from 1.5 inches in Westchester to 3 inches in Ocean View, and of course we'll be adding to that as we head through the overnight hours. So we're all getting impacted by the storm. Brittany, I want to bring you in to talk about some areas are going to get hit a lot harder than others.
I know. We talk about the entire state of New Jersey and Delaware being under that blizzard warning. So another product that we're able to show you comes from NOAA. This is the Winter Storm Severity Index, and you can see most of our area painted at least in red, if not in purple. Those are major to extreme impacts. Travel is not advised, and we're also looking at major disruptions possible, not just to roads, but also air travel as well. So as we look at things a little bit deeper here, it's snowing pretty good right now. If we look at the timeline with the impacts, with what you can expect, notice that we're giving you those high impacts 8 o'clock right through about 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's when things are going to start winding down a bit, but we very well could have some leftover snow showers into tomorrow afternoon, especially east of Philadelphia. This is a nor'easter, so it's a big time wind producer. Watch as it moves its way up and along the coastline here, and by 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, we have winds gusting 40 to 50 miles per hour at the shore, near hurricane strength winds as you work your way off the coast of Cape Cod, and this will undergo bombogenesis. That's when we see the pressure in millibars dropping 24 millibars in about 24 hours. It just really shows you the magnitude of the system. Those northeast winds are going to be hammering the coastline, piling up all kinds of water. Tonight's high tide cycle around midnight will bring a moderate to major coastal flood threat, a major risk down there in Cape May County. So there's a lot to unpack with this system. Of course, the snowfall totals is a big one. 4 to 8 inches, the Poconos down to the Lehigh Valley. You start getting into parts of southern Montgomery, Bucks County, the I-95 metro area, 8 to 12 inches. And then look at this, 12 to 18 inches of snow in South Jersey, the Delaware beaches, and the Jersey Shore. Walter and Sarah, this is the biggest storm that we've had around here in quite some time, and we're still just kind of getting into the storm at this point tonight.
It's going to be a long night. All right, thank you, Brittany.
Well, like Brittany and Cecily mentioned, the Jersey Shore is expected to see the worst of this storm.
Action News reporter Toronto Thomas joins us live from Atlantic City with a look at conditions down there right now. Toronto.
Well, Walter and Sarah, this has been kind of strange because the snow picked up and now it's slowed back down. About half an hour ago, we saw the snow really lighten up, but it's not really the snow, it's the wind. That's what's hitting out here in Atlantic City. We're on the boardwalk where we're hard pressed to find anyone out here, which is as it should be because people have been told to take this storm seriously. I want to show you more of what we're seeing. If we look at the dunes, this is our real indication of when the wind is whipping. Right now, it's pretty calm, but we have seen these bushes just sway back and forth when those huge wind gusts hit. Let's take a look at some video that we took just a few moments ago. One thing that we've been seeing is snow plows here on the boardwalk. They've been going back and forth trying to keep it clear, but I will say within about 20 minutes, 25 minutes of the snowplow coming, the boardwalk is covered again with a thin layer of icy snow. As we were making our way here, we saw a range of conditions from big fat snowflakes to small icy ones with heavy wind. It really has varied out here in the New Jersey area, Atlantic City area, and we have caught a few people who have dared to venture outside.
Nasty out here, of course, and really windy, but it's I just came out to see what it was like from that door to this door.
I mean, it's fun to come out here and play in the snow, but not during when the weather is like this.
Got used to that Florida weather, so was not expecting this when we came up whatsoever.
Yeah, you're not in Florida anymore. And one thing we've seen is quite a few people slip and fall. I wanted to take you a look at what the boardwalk is looking like. So it's not a whole lot of snow, but it's icy and slippery. Even underneath that seemingly soft little pad of snow, there's a lot of ice. So my photographer and I have had to be very careful as we venture from this area to the 6 ABC Action News live truck. So, but we're going to stay out here. We are expecting the snow to pick up in the next half hour or so. There's also a moderate flood risk out here in Atlantic County. So we'll keep an eye on these conditions and continue to bring you more throughout the night. Walter and Sarah?
Yeah, Taronda, stay safe out there. Thank you.
Governor Mikey Sherrill issued a state of emergency for all 21 New Jersey counties for this storm.
The New Jersey Office of Emergency Management has issued mandatory travel restrictions beginning at 9 this evening, going through 7 tomorrow morning. Drivers should not head out on the roads unless it is an emergency. Governor Mikey Sherrill spoke with us this afternoon about the reach and impact of this massive winter storm.
This is going to be the worst storm in 30 years. We haven't had blizzards predicted in all 21 counties since 1996.
The governor is also reminding New Jersey residents to report power outages to your utility provider. Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro signed a disaster declaration this afternoon in anticipation of the storm. He said the declaration ensures the state agencies have all the resources they need to keep people safe.
Governor Shapiro provided an update on the state's emergency response efforts earlier this morning.
But I will tell you that here in the Commonwealth, we are absolutely prepared. And I'm incredibly impressed with the team that we have in place and the manner in which they work together.
This comes as there are currently vehicle restrictions in place for roadways across Pennsylvania. That includes the Pennsylvania Turnpike, along with I-276 and the entire length of the Northeast Extension.
Passenger vehicles, along with recreational vehicles and motorcycles, are not allowed on the road while these vehicle restrictions are in place.
It's helpful when volumes are down. We hope a lot of people will sit this storm out. Which gives us the space we need and, to get through those routes as quickly as possible.
PennDOT officials say avoiding or delaying unnecessary travel during winter storms is the safest option for everyone. Well, schools across the area are closed or operating for virtual learning only tomorrow.
You can see the full list of closings at the bottom of your screen. The Philadelphia School District will have a virtual learning day tomorrow once again. Well, the city of Philadelphia will also see significant impacts from this storm, of course.
Action News reporter Amanda Pitts joins us now live from Rittenhouse Square with a look at how things are in the city proper. Amanda.
Yeah, hey, Walter and Sarah, I told you earlier how about 3 o'clock it turned from rain to sleet. Now we're seeing these big flakes that are starting to stick here in Rittenhouse Square. You can see on the branches here a good little accumulation of snow. And on the road here, you can see it's starting to accumulate on the roads. And if you can look into the street light, it shows you just how steady this snow is falling. And it's the type of snow that's sticking to everything. I mean, you're out here for a few minutes and it is just covering you in a thick layer. We've been talking to people out and about through the city tonight who said that they actually were surprised that we were getting this snow. They were hoping that it wasn't true. They, earlier in the day, it was mild temperatures and rain. They were hoping it was going to stick that way. But many people who are maybe at dinner plans or out and about in the city coming outside to now see this and just how quickly things have changed. And if you live in the city, you know just how difficult it has been for the city to keep up with the cleanup from the last storm. We saw those big piles all over the city. The cold temperatures keeping the ice and the snow around much longer than any of us wanted it to. But people we spoke to are hoping that this storm is a bit different.
Especially in South Philly, it took them like 5 days to even plow my road. But, God bless public transportation.
I like a little bit of snow, but last time the city really struggled to clear it in our neighborhood.
Now, we know that across the city, crews are on standby, ready to start cleaning up this storm once a little bit more starts accumulating on the roads. But again, here in Center City, we're starting to see that the sidewalks and roads have a nice coating, but it's not stopping people from being out and about. We're seeing quite a bit of foot traffic here in Rittenhouse Square. Plenty of people still going to their dinner plans, but again, state leaders, city leaders encourage people to stay home. If you don't have to be out in this, stay home, because look, we've just been out of the car for a few minutes and we are already covered in snow. So again, we're starting to see that accumulate here in Center City, these thick, wet flakes that are now sticking to everything. I'll send things back to you guys in studio.
Amanda, before you go, I'm just wondering, we've talked a lot about the city and the last storm, and a lot of people upset about that. Have you seen any crews out yet, or do you think probably they're going to wait until there's more accumulation and then they can come in through with plows and that sort of thing?
Yeah, we haven't seen crews out just yet. We have seen some, maybe local hotels, apartment buildings starting to salt and clean up their sidewalks. So they're doing their part. But we have not seen city crews come through here just yet. But again, it's only been accumulating the last hour and a half. And, they like to have a pretty thick layer on the ground before the plows can come through. So we'll keep you posted as soon as we see a city crew.
Sounds good. Amanda, thanks for that live report from Rittenhouse Square.
And the one thing you notice right there is all those snow piles that were there for a long time, the past couple of weeks.
We got rid of those.
Got rid of those. Now we got new piles coming our way tonight. Well, once again, every New Jersey county will see snow as a result of this storm.
Action News reporter Brianna Smith joins us live from Glassboro, Gloucester County with more there in South Jersey. Looks like it's coming at you sideways, Brianna.
Yes, Sarah, it's just hit me in the face, and it's coming down hard here in Glassboro. Gloucester County is expected to see more than a foot of snow and up to 45-mile-per-hour wind gusts, but this is what we're seeing right now. Over here on this grass, we're using our yardstick to measure just how much snow we're seeing, about 4 inches, and then here on the sidewalk, we're measuring about 1 inch or so. But if you take a look over on Delsea Drive, you can see that snow is building up on this roadway along with slush, which is creating hazardous road conditions. And this is why Gloucester County commissioners are urging you to stay indoors. We spoke to one who says their salt stockpile is ready and crews will be working around the clock.
Go work through the night, through the morning. A lot of these guys work 16-hour days. So, if they don't hit your street, just be a little patient because, they are out working. It is a big county, but we are working to get everybody, dug out. And most importantly, stay safe.
Yes, again, stay indoors if possible. And also, he says, help your neighbor, help someone who is in need because this snow is heavy and will be difficult to shovel. Another concern about this storm with the wind gusts are power outages. And if you do experience one, call your power company immediately so that they can come out and fix it. But of course, they're asking everyone to practice their patience during this severe storm. And eventually, we will make our way into the neighborhoods to speak to residents and see how they're doing. And so we'll have more on that later on. Live in Glassboro, Brianna Smith, Channel 6 Action News. Walter and Sarah.
Yeah, we can see how now it is starting to accumulate on the pavement, on the road surfaces, which that hadn't been happening earlier. It's been so warm. So we'll watch to see as that accumulates there. Brianna, thank you.
And those drivers moving a little too fast for my liking. Anyway, much more to come on Action News. Another check of the AccuWeather forecast.
Taking a live look outside from our attheshore.com camera. This is the boardwalk in Ocean City, New Jersey. Summer can't happen. I'll take spring. Can't happen soon enough. Meteorologist Cecily, Tynan, and Brittany will have another check on the timing and the track of the storm. We're in the heart of it now when Action News continues.
We're taking a live look outside at some of the conditions across the region at this hour.
Wow, this is the look at Sky 6 cameras along the Ben Franklin Parkway, along with our cameras at theshore.com cameras in Ocean City and Cape May, New Jersey. You can see in almost every shot here, the flakes are really coming down now. They look pretty thick, too, in some spots, like big flakes falling from the sky right now. But at the beach and on the parkway and on the ocean and everywhere, this blizzard is moving through as we speak.
And the counties surrounding Philadelphia will receive significant snowfall from this storm as well.
Action News reporter Brianna Gallagher joins us now live from King of Prussia with more from that very busy part of our region. Brianna.
Hey, Sarah. Hey, Walter. That's right. You mentioned busy, and it still is pretty busy. We're still seeing a lot of folks out here on these roads. This is DeKalb Pike right here behind me. We're still seeing a lot of drivers out here. We caught up with some of them who were hoping to get out before things got bad, but within the last hour, DeKalb Pike did not have snow on it. It was primarily wet. Now that has since changed. It's slushy. We're seeing it. It looks a little slippery. We haven't tested the waters just yet because we've been parked here, but it's looking like it's getting a little bit slicker. That slush, it continues to build.
We probably have enough supplies to last us a year at home, but you know, my wife always wants something else.
The Sunday grocery store rush was even busier this evening as the storm moved in.
Prepared? Yes. Are we excited about it? Absolutely not.
No more eggs, run on milk. People are getting cheese. People are getting cookies, and they are taking everything they can to cook and get ready for the storm.
While most people were bundled up running their last-minute errands, what's a snowstorm if you don't see some folks out in shorts? People say after this, they are staying in until the storm is over.
This evening, relax. Tomorrow, we'll see what it does, and maybe Tuesday we'll think about digging out.
We have a snowblower, so my husband is ready for that. Yeah, and I'll be sitting inside making soup.
Perfect soup weather. Now, I know we are at the beginning of this storm, but we're already seeing people out here trying to stay ahead of it. We're seeing people out here with shovels. You see right now they're shoveling the sidewalk. We're seeing a lot of plows making their way out onto the road here, some driving by right now. They're trying to do the best that they can to stay ahead of this because that snow, it's expected to fall quickly, and those accumulations are going to go up. If you do head out for any of those last-minute errands, do so sooner rather than later, and please take your time. Now, we're live in King of Prussia, Brianna Gallagher, Channel 6 Action News. Sarah, Walter.
Yeah, our weather team has been saying shovel in shifts. You don't want to try to tackle this when it's really accumulated because it's that heavy, wet snow and difficult to shovel. Brianna, thank you from King of Prussia.
All right now, Mobile 6 Live along the Garden State Parkway going south, headed out of Ocean City, New Jersey at this point. Now, this storm's been hard to track for our weather team for the past couple of days, but really coming together the way they anticipated over the past 2 days or so. But overall, most of our region is going to get really hammered with this one.
And as we're looking here on the Garden State Parkway, headed south, which would be towards Sea Isle, you can see it is accumulating here on the roads, but our crew is behind a snowplow train here. So again, the governors in our region have been asking you really to stay off the roads, but if you're out there at all, to give them some distance, as Mobile 6 is doing right now.
All right, much more to come in Action News tonight. Another look at the AccuWeather forecast.
We're taking a live look outside from our Sky 6 camera. Well, this place loves this. This is Spring Mountain in Montgomery County. Meteorologists Cecily, Tynan, and Brittany Boyer have your updated AccuWeather forecast. What's ahead as this storm moves through? That's next. Well, meteorologists Cecily, Tynan, and Brittany Boyer are busy in the Weather Center tracking this storm as it moves through, and they've got the latest from AccuWeather.
Yeah, and I came in here to help Brittany out because 5 of the past 6 weekends we've had snow. Over the summer, tornadoes.
I don't even count anymore. You know, we're just keeping the ratings up here on the weekends. That's what we're doing, and sharing is caring. So thanks for coming in tonight.
I'm happy to be here, happy to help you out. Next weekend, can you quiet things down though, please? Storm Tracker 6 live double scan showing a couple things. First of all, you can see that temperatures have dropped near freezing. We were in the 50s yesterday. Mid or low 40s this afternoon. Now with the cooling air, temperatures around freezing. And then you can also see we've got the blue. The blue is the heavy bands of snow. And what's going on is that we're getting the bands working off of the Atlantic. And then every now and then you get a lull in the action. Storm Tracker 6 zooming in. You can see Allentown right now. You're getting that band of heavier snow pushing in parts of Bucks County, Montgomery County as well. Philadelphia right now, we have a little bit of a lull, but it's filling in, and then across the Jersey Shore. Right now, it's quiet. We've got a lull in Atlantic City, but look at this heavy band that's just starting to move inland, and this will kind of accelerate as we head through the evening hours, and that storm continues to deepen, pulling that moisture in from the Atlantic. Also, visibility is dropping. We were at above a mile last half hour. We're down to a half mile in Philadelphia right now, 3/4 of a mile in Trenton and Wilmington. Allentown and Reading also 3/4 of miles. So please, this is another reason why you really do need to stay off the roads tonight. It's not just the slippery roads, it's the fact that you really can't see anything. Satellite and radar showing this low pressure continues to deepen, crank up. We've got pieces of energy feeding into it, and that's helping it bomb out. And how everything develops, it's an issue of rising and sinking air. Northwest of that center low, you get the rising air. We also have what's called an inverted trough across central Pennsylvania. Now, why is this important? Because between the two, you get sinking air. What goes up must come down, and that's in the far northwest suburbs, and that has a big impact on our snowfall total. So I know that's what everybody wants to hear. Let's bring in Brittany Boyer to talk about just how much snow to expect in certain parts of our region.
I know some of the Lehigh Valley folks are like, why aren't we getting that much snow? And that's exactly why Cecily just explained what she explained. If we look at our snowfall map here, you can see we are covering for 4 to 8 inches of snow from Lancaster into Berks County through the Lehigh Valley and the Poconos. This is going to be a heavy wet snow for everyone. So whether you have 4 to 8 inches or 8 to 12 inches, we're all going to be struggling cleaning things up. This bright pink area up and down the I-95 corridor from Wilmington to Philadelphia and into Trenton, that's 8 to 12 inches, and then 12 to 18 inches as you work your way into parts of Cumberland County, Atlantic County, the Jersey Shore up through Long Beach Island. This is where we have those blizzard warnings, and that is where we are going to have the strongest wind gusts. So looking at timing here, we're in the peak of the storm, winds wrapping around that low pressure system, and our temperatures continuing to drop around freezing. Overnight tonight, the snowfall continues, but notice that area where Cecily mentioned the sinking air, we start to see things tapering off well north and west. 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, still snowing over parts of New Jersey, and then eventually we'll start to see things gradually ending as we go from late morning into the afternoon. So in your exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast, we have an AccuWeather alert continuing for the light snow, windy conditions on Monday. Tuesday, partly sunny, breezy, a good day for cleanup because people will still be doing that. Morning snow showers to sunshine on Wednesday. Rain and snow showers possible on Thursday, but Walter and Sarah, look at the temperatures by the end of the week. That's going to help melt all of the snow. Again, some places looking at 12 to 18 inches.
I was going to say quicker melt this time than last time.
Let's hope so.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Brittany.
Let's take another look at the conditions down at the shore at this hour.
Action News reporter Toronto Thomas joins us live from Atlantic City, where conditions are deteriorating.
Well, Walter and Sarah, like clockwork, it has picked up right on the dot when we thought it would. I'm going to give you the old-fashioned glove test so you can see the flakes that are landing, the speed that they're landing. And these are nice-sized snowflakes, not the biggest ones, but they're sticking. That's the important thing for you to notice. And the wind has definitely picked up out here in Atlantic City. There's a moderate flood risk out here as well, so we're going to keep an eye on that. But the wind is the major factor, I would say, right now with this storm as these flakes have picked up. We'll be back in a few minutes with another update. Back to you.
Okay, Toronto, thank you.
Our team coverage of the storm continues tomorrow morning. The Action News morning team will be in bright and early to bring you the latest updates as you start your week.
Join Matt, Aliana, Karen, and Matt beginning at 4 a.m. tomorrow. We'll be back.
Back out live here, Mobile 6 on the road, Route 202 and Paoli Pike. As you can see, conditions are deteriorating all across the region. We've been saying it for the past couple of hours, the past couple of days, really. But the Jersey Shore is going to get the brunt of this whole thing, but our region is going to get a lot of snow as well. And it's really just getting started at this point. The overnight hours are going to be critical in terms of what we do get and what we don't get. But tomorrow morning, we'll know for sure exactly what conditions are going to be all across the region.
Good news here is it looks like traffic has lightened up quite a bit, and that would make sense as the snow is now sticking to these roadways. The authorities are really asking people to stay off the roads if at all possible. Our live team coverage of this storm continues during our next half hour of Action News.
Taking a live look outside from our Sky 6 camera on the Ben Franklin Parkway, meteorologist Cecily Tynan and Brittany Boyer will have another update on the forecast when Action News comes right back. I'm Walter Perez alongside Sarah Bloomquist. We're continuing our coverage of this historic blizzard. This is the first time in years the entire tri-state is under a blizzard warning impacting nearly 7 million people.
Between now and tomorrow morning, some areas will get more than a foot of snow with extreme whiteout conditions. Action News has you covered with reporters all across the area from the Jersey Shore to Montgomery County to Rittenhouse Square. We'll take you there for a look at the live conditions at the moment.
But first, our team of meteorologists, Cecily, Tynan, and Brittany have an update from AccuWeather. Hey guys.
And we've been watching the radar. It's starting to get a little bit more intense. I was doing some spot checking, 3 to 5 inches of snow in some areas.
Yeah, this storm is just really starting to intensify. So we have several more hours to go. Let's head up to the Action News Weather Center. Show you Storm Tracker 6, which of course earlier today we had a lot of rain across the region. Now it's snow, and where you see the brighter blue, that's the heavier snow encompassing much of South Jersey across the I-95 corridor. Now notice there's a sharp cutoff in northwestern Lehigh County. We talked about subsidence, about sinking air earlier in the newscast, and that's really showing the effects. So that's why the numbers will be dropping off the farther north and west you get. For as far as the I-95 corridor, we are in the thick of it right now. We've got some heavy bands of snow moving right across the Philadelphia area, continuing to push to the east. And then at the Jersey Shore and Delaware, we're getting a little bit of a break in action just west of Atlantic City, but Millville, some heavy snow, Middletown, and we'll continue to see those feeder bands working off the Atlantic as that low pressure strengthens and deepens and continues to bring us bands of heavy snow and also those gusty winds. Snowfall totals right now, Allentown, Philadelphia coming in at 1.5 inches of snow. Atlantic City 2.6, Trenton 2.8, Lumberton 3.5, and Harrington, Delaware, which is on the border of Kent and Sussex right now, the highest amount so far with 5 inches of snow. It's not just about the snow, it's also about the winds and the fact that temperatures will be close to freezing. This is so different from our last storm. We're looking at a very heavy wet snow because temperatures will be right around freezing all night long. So please be careful. This is the heart attack snow. Shoveling can be really strenuous. It's going to be kind of that pasty heavy snow. Wind gusts show you that they're closer to the center of that low pressure. Atlantic City reporting a wind gust right now at 40 miles per hour. These will be picking up. Trenton 24, Dover 38 miles per hour. Winds are definitely a factor overnight. I want to bring in Brittany Boyer to talk about what to expect as we head through the overnight hours.
And the blizzard warnings aren't just for here locally. I mean, we're talking about a large area looking at the threat of blizzard conditions. You can see the blizzard warnings extend 700 miles from down in Maryland all the way up into coastal Maine. And we're likely going to have a number of travel delays with those conditions. And again, when we're looking at blizzard criteria, you have those sustained winds of 35 miles per hour or greater, visibility under 1/4 mile for at least 3 hours. And notice as we continue through tonight, we're not even at the peak of our winds just yet. This is for the Jersey Shore around the Atlantic City area. 8 o'clock tonight, we very well could be dealing with gusts out of the northeast close to 50 miles per hour. Shortly after that, those gusts exceeding 50 miles per hour. So that is the risk that we get with power outages as we go deeper into the overnight period. And it's a northeasterly wind, so we've been talking about the concern for some coastal flooding out there. The National Weather Service has the threat for moderate coastal flooding, as you can see right along the Jersey Shore coast there. Even as you work your way toward the Delaware Bay, we could have at least some minor coastal flooding, and then there will be some spotty locations that could see up to major coastal flooding. So we're not exactly in the clear just yet. The peak time frame that we're looking at with this high tide cycle tonight is going to be right around midnight. So hopefully at this point, if you have a vehicle in a flood prone area, you have already moved it. Barnegat Light, you're looking at moderate coastal flooding with a departure from normal over 3 feet. But look at a few other locations here. Moderate coastal flooding in Atlantic City with the departure nearly 4 feet, 3 feet the departure at Great Egg Harbor Bay. And then we do have that major risk for coastal flooding, Cape May Harbor. Again, this is around midnight tonight. So this is a multifaceted storm with its impacts, all thanks to that northeast wind. And guys, we're going to be watching very closely as conditions continue to deteriorate as we go through tonight.
Okay, Brittany, thank you.
So once again, the Jersey Shore is getting the worst of the storm. At least 18 inches of snow is expected to fall between now and Monday morning.
This is the first time since 1996 that the entire state of New Jersey is under a blizzard warning. Let's continue our team coverage with Action News reporter Taronda Thomas. She's joining us now live from Atlantic City. And Taronda, at last report, this was picking up there.
Exactly. The snowfall has gotten heavier here. The flakes are fatter. And I want to give you a gauge of just how steadily the snow is falling. The best way to see that is when you look up to a light, then you could see everything that we're seeing. You can see how many flakes, how steadily they're following, and how the wind is pushing them. That's the big story here in Atlantic City. It's what causes those blizzard conditions, the wind. Now let's take a look at Pacific Avenue, because the good news is that Pacific Avenue is actually pretty clear. When you look at traffic getting through, we haven't seen any issues here yet. The same cannot be said for the boardwalk. It is very snow covered, very icy. As a matter of fact, we talked to one person who was one of many who was having a hard time getting down that boardwalk.
The boards are always slippery. You gotta be careful. Any moisture on them boards make them slimy.
Yeah, unfortunately, we saw several people slip and fall, and, you know, we almost became one of those people as we were walking back and forth to our live truck. So people who are out here are a lot of people who still have to work in these conditions. Other than that, we have not seen a whole lot of people out in Atlantic City. We do know that there's a moderate flooding risk here on this area, and when we're over toward the boardwalk, we're feeling that wind push in from the coast. So it definitely has picked up in the last 20 minutes or so. We'll continue to stay out here and monitor the conditions and bring you more throughout the evening. Back to you.
Taronda, thank you.
So once again, this is the first time in more than a decade since Philadelphia has been under a blizzard warning, and conditions are starting to worsen as the night goes on. We're taking a live look outside from our Sky 6 camera along the Ben Franklin Parkway right there.
Action News reporter Amanda Pitts is live in Center City along Rittenhouse Square with the latest from there. Amanda.
Yeah, hey Walter and Sarah, you talked about how this is the pretty stage of the snowstorm. It's really quite beautiful out here in Rittenhouse Square. Take a look at the trees. There's a nice layer of coating of snow on them with the lights. It's just gorgeous out here. Everyone who's passing us by, they're like, isn't this so pretty? And then take a look at the bushes here. You can just see how much snow is starting to accumulate just over the last couple of hours when we last checked in with you. Look at this scooter. This is a good gauge. It's been parked here since we got here. I would say an inch or more. Not a scientific measurement, but it shows you just how much snow is starting to pile up here in Center City. You can see the sidewalk has a nice coating. People are taking it slow as they walk through the square here. The roads, though, not looking too bad. It's more of a slushy mix on the roads. Obviously, a lot of traffic coming by, so that's helping things. But when we spoke to people all across the city tonight, many were hoping that this storm wouldn't hit. And many were surprised to see, that we're getting more snow. They were hoping it wouldn't be the case, but take a listen to what a few folks had to say.
I didn't believe it. I kind of thought it was just going to rain. I mean, it was very warm, I feel like, this whole weekend, so I was pretty surprised.
I didn't think it was actually going to happen, but then I got a text a few minutes ago, and they were like, oh, it's actually snowing pretty hard right now, and I was like, I have to go get some food. I don't have anything at home.
And we saw a lot of people doing that. They didn't think the snow would hit. They look out the window and they're like, oh, it is hitting. So let me go to the store and pick up some last minute supplies. But again, here in Center City, we're starting to see the snow start to pile up on these surfaces like sidewalks, trees and bushes and the grass. The road is still looking good. We haven't yet seen any city crews come through. But again, those plows like to have a pretty significant inch or so until before they start to plow. So we'll keep you posted, but that's the latest here in Center City. Amanda Pitts, Channel 6 Action News. Back to you.
Yeah, and as we've been saying all along, it's been warm. It was really warm yesterday, so that pavement, it's going to take a while for it to start sticking there, for sure. Right. Amanda, thanks.
Thank you, Amanda. We're taking a live look right now at Philadelphia International Airport, where dangerous weather conditions are impacting flights so far today. There have been almost 400 cancellations and some 114 delays.
And officials are warning of more cancellations and delays at least through Wednesday. A live look now from Mobile 6, checking out the road conditions on the Garden State Parkway in Egg Harbor Township. And you can see here, unlike we saw in the city where it does tend to stay warmer, the snow is sticking to the Garden State Parkway, this major thoroughfare cutting through South Jersey, and they're running along the Jersey Shore.
Yeah, the difference is noticeable for sure. Officials are asking drivers to stay off the roads if possible. Travel could be very difficult. to impossible during blizzard conditions, as blowing snow could significantly reduce visibility. Coming up, more snowstorm coverage across the tri-state region.
We're taking a live look now at Margate. We'll be back in just 90 seconds as that snow whips across the ocean. Well, welcome to a special edition of Action News. The blizzard of 2026 conditions are quickly worsening across the tri-state region.
Check out this time lapse of the snow coming down at the fishing pier in Margate. Our team coverage continues now live with Action News reporter Brianna Smith live in Glassboro, New Jersey with much more. Brianna.
Walter and Sarah, yeah, this snow is just not letting up here in Glassboro. It's been hitting my face the past few hours. You just missed some action over here. We saw a plow truck come by, multiple actually, come by and clear this road, which has been covered with snow and slush. But taking a look at some of the lights here, you can see just how much the snow is coming down and how hard and fast. And it is accumulating on the ground. If you take a look below, you can see that the snow is now several inches building up on the ground. Again, taking a look here at Delsea Road, you can see that it is building a layer of snow and slush, and that's why county commissioners here in Gloucester County are urging residents to stay indoors and stay off the roads. Unfortunately, we've seen a lot of people on the roads here tonight. Many taking it slow as they travel because these roads are dangerous with all that's on them. Another concern with this storm are the wind gusts. So Gloucester County is expected to see up to 45-mile-per-hour wind gusts, which could cause power outages. Hopefully we don't see too many of those. But again, local officials urging people to stay indoors, stay safe, stay warm, and enjoy the snow from the inside. We're live here in Glassboro. Brianna Smith, Channel 6 Action News.
Yeah, no reason to go anywhere tonight. Brianna, thank you.
All right, our team coverage continues now with a look at conditions in Montgomery County.
Action News reporter Brianna Gallagher is live in King of Prussia with the latest from there as the snow continues to accumulate. Brianna.
Hey, Sarah. Hey, Walter. We're right off of DeKalb Pike here in King of Prussia. And take a look at the street here. About an hour and a half ago, it was totally just wet. We only saw some slush on the sides of the road, the turning lane. But now we're seeing that snow accumulate. You can tell how quickly it's coming down. However, we did just speak with a driver. He said as long as you're taking it slow right now, it's not too bad. We're still seeing a lot of folks out here on the roads. However, earlier today, we did catch up with some people hoping to get ahead of this storm and to get back home to cook all of those meals that they got from their ingredients at the store before things got too bad out.
We were excited to see the green grass. We were excited to see the sun. Yesterday I went out for a walk, and that was quickly over. So now we're back here.
I'm probably one of the fewer people who'll tell you this, but I love this weather. So I'm pretty happy. I like the snow. I live in an apartment complex, so I don't have to shovel. So it works out for me.
It felt like good pizza weather, and we wanted to make our own pizza. And what better than your local Trader Joe's?
We are shoveling, salting, and making sure that the tarp's down so they can have a place to go to the bathroom. We're already prepared. I feel like we're like pros at this now.
Right? I feel like we're pros at this because it's been such a snowy and cold winter. But again, we also talked to some people who were so happy to have a bit of sunshine yesterday. You know, that positivity and those sunshine rays before all of this snow that moved in today. The one person we talked to, though, he loves the snow. He was very happy, but that was one out of maybe 20 or so people. Again, those roads are getting a little bit slicker out there as the snow continues to accumulate. For now, we're live in King of Prussia. Brianna Gallagher, Channel 6 Action News. Sarah, Walter.
And Brianna, before we let you go, is it more snowy or icy there on the pavement?
I don't think she can't hear us. You can't hear her? Brianna.
She clearly didn't hear us.
It was like
either
she
that or she's ignoring me.
It's like slushy snowy.
Yeah,
that's what it is.
And heavy.
Thanks for answering the question.
That's
pasty. Very pasty. Yeah, and it's sticking to everything. And it's not like the last one where we had that light snow and then we had that crust. Completely different consistency.
Yeah, but this is going to be a pain to clean up. And I know a lot of people are starting to tell us how much snow they have. If you have any pictures or video, feel free to send it to Cecily or I so we can and see what's going on out there.
Absolutely. Maybe we'll share them on Action News. Speaking of which, let's head over to the Action News weather because, yes, Tim sent us this weather center from Coatesville, and you can see that the snow is sticking on the roads right now. I know once it changed over to snow, we had the melting on the roads, but now as the temperatures continue to cool, we've got the sticking and we've got the accumulating snow. Storm Tracker 6 live double scan showing temperatures right around freezing. That's where they'll be all night long. And notice that we've got some of the brighter blue, the heavier snow across much of South Jersey, Delaware, near Philadelphia, but it really tapers off when you get across the far northwestern suburbs. Allentown right now, moderate, but that band as it's moving to the east, it almost kind of evaporates. So that's that sinking air that will be eroding the snowfall totals in the far northwest communities. Philadelphia right now, we've got a heavy band moving through also parts of Camden, Gloucester, Burlington County. At the shore, every now and then you get a lull, a little bit of a lull. Was in Atlantic City about 10 minutes ago. That's now moved inland, and then you can see that heavier band of snow that's pushing in. Much like a tropical system, we continue to get those feeder bands that will be intensifying. And yes, the entire state of New Jersey under blizzard warnings. Last time that happened was 30 years ago during the blizzard of '96. And they've been extended through Delaware and through parts of southeastern Pennsylvania, including Philadelphia. And we haven't had a blizzard warning for more than a decade, and areas not under the blizzard warning still under the winter storm warning. So we've got all of our region getting impacted by the system. Visibility shows that we are starting to drop. Philadelphia, half mile right now, Pottstown 3/4 mile, Millville 3/4 mile. Once that visibility drops to a 1/4 mile or less and you get those winds gusting at about 35 miles an hour, that's when you officially match the blizzard warning criteria. Satellite and radar showing that low pressure continues to deepen, and this system we are going to be dealing with overnight into tomorrow morning. Let's bring in Brittany to talk more about what to expect as we head through the overnight hours.
Yes, because we're right in the thick of things right now, and I know there are some essential workers out there, that people who have to get to their jobs at some point tonight or maybe tomorrow. We're all dealing with the snow right now. Let's put this into motion here so we can get you through the overnight period with what you can expect with timing. This is just after midnight, 1 o'clock, 1:30 in the morning. Notice that we do get somewhat of a dry slot that sets up, and that's going to help really shut off some of the snow that you can see here into parts of northern Berks County, Lehigh, up into the Poconos, while the rest of us are still dealing with those 1 to 2 inch per hour snowfall rates. 6 o'clock in the morning, you can see a lot of the activity wrapped up in Lancaster, Berks County, even some of the northwestern suburbs, but it's still snowing throughout a good portion of New Jersey. That's why our snowfall totals are highest there, closest to the coast. Right around lunchtime, 1 o'clock in the afternoon, still some snow showers continuing here in South Jersey. Temperatures at least marginal. They're not going to be right at freezing. They're going to be in the mid to upper 30s, so it's still going to be that wet, pasty snow consistency. And then by dinner time tomorrow, you're probably going to hear a lot of snowblowers in your neighborhood as people are trying to clean things up. 4 to 8 inches of snow possible from Lancaster into Berks County through Allentown, the Poconos, 8 to 12 inches for the heart of our area. That includes Trenton, also into Philadelphia, 8 to 12 inches, Wilmington down into Middletown, and then our highest snowfall totals, we've been talking about 12 to 18 inches possible here, including areas like Milford, getting into Cumberland County around Millville, Wildwood, up into Ocean City, and this 12 to 18 inch area continues all the way through Long Beach Island, inland throughout parts of central Burlington County, Gloucester, also Camden counties, and we're going to have these intense snowfall rates continuing. So that means you have whiteout conditions. What really isn't going to help the situation here will be those wind gusts. We talked about the winds out toward the shore. Here in Philadelphia tonight, guys, we very well could see winds as high as 45 miles per hour.
That's intense.
It is.
All right. Thank you, Brittany. Our team coverage of the storm continues tomorrow morning. The Action News morning team will be in early to bring you the latest updates as you start your week.
Join Matt, Aliana, Karen, and Matt beginning at 4 a.m. tomorrow. Well, viewers are sending us videos and pictures of what the weather looks like from their own backyards.
That's right. Janice Parsons sent us this video of a snow-covered field and a road in Felton, Delaware this evening.
And Chrisanne Brown sent us this video of the snow from her backyard in Camden, Wyoming, Delaware. These towns outside of Dover are expected to see more than a foot of snow as well.
I never heard of Camden, Wyoming.
Well,
learn something new every night.
And we just saw it there live.
There you go. Our special edition of Action News, Blizzard of 2026, continues next with more live team coverage.
We're taking a live look outside from our camera at Route 202 at County Line Road in Warrington, Bucks County. Snow covering the pavement here as a few cars are still out and about. We'll be right back.
We're back with more Blizzard of 2026 coverage. The Jersey Shore once again getting some of the worst of the storm.
A live look now from Mobile 6 checking out road conditions in Atlantic City on the expressway in Egg Harbor Township. This is actually the AC Expressway in Egg Harbor Township. Snow covered right now. It does look like people are staying off the roads in this area of South Jersey.
So once again, officials are asking drivers to stay off the roads if possible. Travel could be very difficult to impossible during blizzard conditions as blowing snow could significantly reduce visibility. Once again, the Jersey Shore is getting the brunt of this whole thing, but much of our region conditions aren't that much better. I mean, a little bit better here and there overall, but snow all across the region. So please, if you have to be outside, if you have to drive, be careful.
One thing we have not seen yet as Mobile 6 continues along the AC Expressway in Egg Harbor Township. No plows out there quite yet. It appears as if they are waiting for some accumulation before they get those plows out and moving around on area roadways. So let's check in with Action News reporter Taronda Thomas live in Atlantic City with a look at the conditions there. Taronda.
The wind continues to pick up here in Atlantic City, Sarah. That snow blowing sideways. I want to give you a look at the boardwalk. We've made our way back here from Pacific Avenue. Not a soul to be found on the boardwalk, but what I really want you to pay attention to is the way the snow is swirling against those lights. We didn't see that 30, 45 minutes ago. It's really picked up. Also, look at the boardwalk where the boards would be. You can't see them now because they're covered. It's important to note that because you might be going, duh, of course they're covered, but we've seen snow plows come through here 5 or 6 times in the past hour or so, and now it doesn't look like they've been here at all. That's just how quickly the snow has started falling within the past half hour, 45 minutes. Let's give you a look at what the conditions were like earlier so you know you have something to compare it to. As we were coming here earlier, you know, we saw a range of conditions from those little tiny icy balls of snowflakes to those big fat flakes, and they didn't really accumulate in all the areas. That's much different from what we're seeing now with this accumulation. You know, we have hardly seen anyone out here on the boardwalk, but the few people we did run into say they are not really taking a chance with this snow.
The boards are always slippery. You gotta be careful. Any moisture on them boards make them slimy.
That is actually not an exaggeration because my photographer and I have experienced that as we're just going back and forth to Pacific Avenue and to the news van. It's really, really slippery out here. We've seen a police cruiser kind of come down the boardwalks too just to make sure that everyone's safe, but not a lot of people. A few have gone into the casino here to stay in the hotel. We met someone who got stuck here from Florida, so they're seeking refuge there. Another guy from Philadelphia staying in the hotel as well. So people taking this storm seriously, as they should, because it's starting to pick up, especially the wind out here in Atlantic City. We are live in Atlantic City. Taronda Thomas, Channel 6 Action News.
And Taronda, I was going to ask you about that. It seems like the wind is really picking up down there.
Yes, I mean, I can tell you, actually, our photographer, Albert, God bless him, because he is really braced with his camera on his shoulder, trying not to rock back and forth, but the gusts of wind are getting pretty strong. So it's definitely picking up out here.
That's right. Stay safe. My goodness. All right, let's take a look at some Sky 6 cameras all across the region.
Let's head outside the Ben Franklin Parkway in Philadelphia, along with Spring Mountain in Montgomery County. We're also looking at Cape May, New Jersey, and Ocean City, New Jersey, from our attheshore.com cameras. Snow falling all across the region, with only a few cars out and about. Best to stay off the roads at this point.
With that said, one more check of the AccuWeather forecast.
We have a team weather coverage with meteorologist Cecily, Tynan, and Brittany. Brittany Boyer, who's been staying on top of it and will continue to do so through the night.
Yeah, and those roads are really starting to look pretty bad out there.
Yeah, they really are. And a shout out to our crews who are not in a nice warm studio covering. Hopefully there's a Wawa nearby.
And we thank you.
Yeah, they're awesome. Storm Tracker 6 is showing that, like Toronto was saying, we do have a plume of some heavier snow that's pushed along the coast across South Jersey. Philadelphia, we're also getting that heavier snow. It does kind of break off as you move across the northern Lehigh Valley. Also, western Berks County, not much going on, but here are those heavy bands continuing to push in as that low pressure bombs out. Bombogenesis, it's a fancy term for a rapidly deepening storm, and that's what we're getting tonight. So the snowfall totals are starting to come in. 1.5 inches in Allentown, Philadelphia, 2.6 now Atlantic City, 2.8 Trenton, Lumberton, 3.5, and Harrington reporting 5 inches of snow. The winter storm severity index shows you that, yes, we are all getting impacted from this storm, but you can see right along the coast, this is where it's extreme. This is where we'll get the heavier snow, the highest winds, and where the blizzard warnings will be really the strongest as we head through the overnight hours. Now, for Philadelphia, the last time we had a blizzard warning was back more than 20 years ago, or more than 10 years ago, I should say, January 2016. Blizzard warning means that you have winds gusting or sustained at least 35 miles an hour with less than a quarter-mile visibility. Another reason to stay off the road. So let's talk about what's going to be happening as we head through the overnight hours with Brittany.
And the impacts are definitely going to be felt really for the next 10 or so hours. We have high impacts here. You can see from the 8 o'clock hour right through about sunrise tomorrow, and even beyond that. I think that we're going to start to see the snow gradually tapering off, but then there's going to be a lot to clean up. How much are you going to be cleaning up? About 4 to 8 inches. Notice the totals are less the farther north and west you get from the Poconos toward the Lehigh Valley. The heart of the I-95 corridor, about 8 to 12 inches of snow. South Jersey, 12 to 18 inches. And you can see we maintain that much snow into central Jersey and also down into Cape May County and southern Delaware. We're also going to have a risk for coastal flooding. Moderate threat here with our high tide cycle coming in around midnight tonight, and then we do have the threat for major coastal flooding. So we're gonna kind of walk things back over to the desk here. Guys, this storm, we're getting into the peak right now. You can see the conditions deteriorating. As our reporter said, the winds are picking up tonight.
All right, Brittany, that's going to do it for this special edition of Action News, the blizzard of 2026. We'll have updates online and wherever you stream throughout the evening. And we'll be back on the air for Action News at 10 on PHL 17.
Then join us back here for team coverage and Action News at 11.
Now for Walter Perez, Cecily Tynan, and Brittany Boyer, I'm Sarah Bloomquist. Have a great night. We'll see you later.
I'm meteorologist Cecily Tynan with this AccuWeather alert. Hopefully everyone is staying home. They're staying off the roads tonight because Storm Tracker 6 live double scan showing that we are in the thick of it. Where you see the bright blue, that's the snow that's falling at the rate of 1 to 2 inches per hour. So this is really going to pile up. Philadelphia right now, you're dealing with it, and the bands are moving from the southeast to the northwest off the Atlantic, closer to that low pressure. Now at the shore, you see the white. You will be getting a lull within the next few minutes, but then it will refire and more snow will be pushing in, and we've already had reports of up to 5 inches of snow already, and it will continue in the overnight hours. That impact scale, we're high right now, and that continues right up till about daybreak tomorrow. In addition to the snow, we're also dealing with the gusty winds. Stay put, stay off the roads. We will have a full report on Action News tonight at 11. See you then. Virtual whiteout conditions out there right now, and I'm reading that nearly 600 flights are already canceled for Monday. So it's going to take a while before we can get travel back up to normal if you're flying in or out of the airport, because this is a very high impactful system. So let's show you what's going on as far as Storm Tracker 6 live double scan. You can see that it's all snow. It started as rain earlier today, but now it's changed over to snow. And where you see that brighter blue, that's where we have the snow falling at the rate of 1 to 2 inches per hour. So that's pretty intense.
And I think we do have some watches and warnings that we want to get to, because we do have blizzard conditions out there, at least blizzard warnings out there for this evening. And it spans not just for Philadelphia and the shore, but up and down the I-95 corridor.
So that's Weather 6. There we go. So the blizzard warnings, I mean, it's pretty impressive when you see this. The state of New Jersey, all of New Jersey is under a blizzard warning. Last time that happened, it was the blizzard of 96, 30 years ago. Philadelphia also under that blizzard warning. Last time that happened was more than a decade ago. And if you're not in the blizzard warning, you're still getting impacted. Winter storm warnings are in effect overnight. So this is another reason why you really do want to stay put, because this is a dangerous storm.
And this includes some of the big airport hubs. I know we talk about Philly, but you have Newark Liberty, you have JFK, LaGuardia, Boston up there. So you know, we're looking at airport delays today and tomorrow, but this likely is going to have a ripple effect over the next few days.
And Storm Tracker 6 again showing that we've got some of the heavy bands of snow working in. That low pressure, it's to the south, it's off the coast of Delaware, and what's happening, it's bombing out. Bombogenesis. I know that's a really exciting term, and it's just a fancy word for intensifying rapidly, and as it does, it creates lift, and that's what squeezes all that moisture out in the atmosphere, brings us the heavy bands of snow. We have one band that's working through Burlington, Camden, Gloucester County right now, crossing the New Jersey Turnpike, Philadelphia, a little bit of a lull, but you're going to be getting that band probably within the next 10 to 15 minutes. And we keep getting those bands feeding off the Atlantic. And with the heavy snow, we're also going to be getting the gusty winds as we head through the overnight hours.
And this is kind of that wet, pasty snow. So it's clinging on to everything. You have that low visibility along with it. And it is just creating those hazardous and true blizzard conditions. We've been watching the different reports come in, especially down into parts of Delaware and the Jersey Shore. I mean, we've already had some places up to about 5 inches with snow.
Yeah, it's really piling up there. So as far as some of the snowfall totals so far, East Coventry Township, 2.5 inches, Camden 2.8, Toms River 3 inches, Manahawkin 4 inches, and then so far our highest amounts, of course, these are going to go up. Haddonfield and Harrington both reporting 5 inches of that heavy wet snow, and as it piles up, it's really tough to shovel. We call that heart attack snow, so please be careful. It's not that light fluffy snow that you can kind of blow off with a broom or a snow blower. It's really that pasty snow that sticks on everything.
You know, the last storm we called it concrete, so I guess you could say we're improving a little bit with the snow consistency. And you're probably just going to want to wait until things are done, because we're going to be dealing with these 1 to 2 inch snowfall rates for several hours. And it is 11 o'clock tonight. We'll be on the air on Action News with the latest updates. Temperatures at or below freezing, but then we're going to get some of the drier air working in. So overnight tonight around 3 o'clock in the morning, future trackers showing on the northwestern periphery of this system. Notice how things kind of start to fall apart through Lancaster, Berks, Lehigh County up into the Poconos, with the steadiest snowfall continuing during the morning from the city on into New Jersey. That's why we do have the blizzard warning continuing right into Monday. And we very well could have snow showers tapering off not until tomorrow afternoon. So we're kind of in the thick of things right now, and in for the long haul.
Yeah, and here we go with our forecast snowfall amounts. The areas that will get the least snow, it's kind of an upside down storm, the areas that typically get the most. So that's our far north and west suburbs, 4 to 8 inches there. Across the I-95 corridor, the nearby suburbs, we're talking about 8 to 12 inches of that heavy wet snow. And then the jackpot zone for our area does appear to be much of South Jersey and coastal Delaware, expecting 12 to 18 inches of snow when all is said and done, continuing into the morning hours. Now, the good news is, as we head through the week, temperatures are rising, so it's not like the last storm where we're stuck in the deep freeze. We're in the 50s by next weekend, so there will be some melting. It's just going to take a while.
I know. It's just unfortunate that we finally melted the snow that we watched on the ground for a month, but this one should be a little bit quicker to melt.
Yeah, all right. So we will have a full report coming up on Action News tonight at 11 o'clock, PHL 17 at 10, and we're back here in, what, like 20 minutes or so? I don't know. We're all over the place. Take care. Stay safe. and dry, staying off the roads, because this is a really big storm.
I know, and it's hard to believe several hours ago we were just looking at rain out there, and now the snow is sticking. The roads are getting difficult. I can see people slowly driving outside tonight.
Yeah, the storm right now is unfolding as we had predicted. It's snowing pretty heavily, and we do have some sky sixes we can show you. This is right outside our station. You can see there is a vehicle going up on City Avenue slowly, another one going down very slowly. If you do have to travel, take it slow. You can see that the roads are covered in snow, and as the heavy bands continue to push in, we're really going to see that picking up as we head through the evening hours.
And we have a look live on Sky 6. I mean, you can barely make out the, I think this is the Parkway.
Yeah.
The snow's, it snows like coming down sideways. We have winds already gusting in Philadelphia around 30 miles per hour. So that's where you get the low visibility. And that's why one of the reasons why we are under a blizzard warning through Monday.
All right, so let's show you Storm Tracker 6 live now, where you see the white, that's the really light snow, not much of it on our map, and where you see the blue, that's the heavy snow. And you can see now the Lehigh Valley, western Berks County, they're not getting the heaviest bands of snow. There's something called subsidence, where there's some sinking air, so that's why the totals are going to be less farther north and west. But you can see there's a band right now pushing through parts of Upper Bucks County, Montgomery County, Richland, New Hanover. You are getting snow falling at the rate of probably about an inch an hour. It's starting to move a little bit, kind of lessen as it moves north and west, but as we head a little bit farther down to the south, you can see we've got a heavy band of snow that right now is pressing through the Jersey Turnpike. Philadelphia, we have a lull in the action, but that band will be moving into Philadelphia. That's the snow falling at the rate about 1 to 2 inches per hour, and all of that snow is pushing in from the Atlantic, so you can see another band pushing through across the Garden State Parkway, and it's almost like a tropical system where you get those feeder bands. And then actually I had somebody on Facebook who said, she's in Villanova, said it looks like the storm's over. It's not over. You just get a lull in the action before you get hit again.
Yeah, we still have several more hours to go, and if we're looking at some of the current conditions, right now the airport's reporting 32 degrees. It's a heavy, wet snowfall, and as I mentioned earlier, the winds are picking up, and that's not just making for some low visibility, it's making a feels-like temperature of just 19 degrees outside.
Yeah, and speaking of visibility, we are now at a quarter mile in Philadelphia. Now, the blizzard warnings, they're really because of the wind and the visibility. And if we have those winds gusting at 35 miles an hour, frequent gusts or sustained for at least 3 hours, and we get that visibility a quarter mile or less, this will officially be a blizzard. And with that visibility in Philadelphia, it looks like we're at least heading in that direction.
And if we look at timing here, you know, we still have several hours to go through the midnight hour. You can see more of that drier air starting to work in as you work your way into parts of Berks County, even Schuylkill County, into the Poconos, while the rest of us are still dealing with those 1 to 2 inch per hour snowfall rates. More of our western communities starting to see things really tapering off as we get closer to sunrise tomorrow, but still snowing in Trenton, Toms River, down into the Jersey Shore. And we're still going to have some lingering snow showers as we go through tomorrow afternoon. So just keep that in mind if you're out there cleaning things up. Things really don't completely wind down until later tomorrow evening.
And as far as the forecast snow amounts, you can see areas north and west where you get that sinking air. It's not going to be as much, but still, it's substantial snow, 4 to 8 inches. Along the I-95 corridor, we're looking at 8 to 12 inches. And the jackpot zone does look to be much of South Jersey and coastal Delaware, looking at 12 to 18 inches of that heavy wet snow when the storm is finally out of here.
And places along the coastline are also looking at the threat of coastal flooding. We have a coastal flood warning that continues until early Monday. And this in itself, Cecily, is likely going to be pretty significant for some areas.
You can see that we're looking at the potential for moderate flooding in Barnegat Light, Atlantic City, Great Egg Harbor Bay, and could be some major coastal flooding at Cape May Harbor. So hopefully everyone who lives there, they've moved their cars to higher ground and they're prepared for the coastal flooding that will be happening at high tide near midnight. So we have several more hours of the storm before it tapers off. We, of course, we're here pretty much all night watching it and hopefully keeping you guys safe.
All right, we'll have another update coming up soon. And as always, you can tune in on 6ABC and 6ABC.com.
Sorry. I'm trying to share this on my Facebook page.
This is in real time.
It's like, and I don't even think I did it. Oh, it's been a long night already.
It has been.
All right.
Hi, everyone.
It's not
We're
on my
back.
Facebook page.
We have the giggles. We're trying to figure out technology so we can provide you with the latest information on this.
Yes, I'm getting a little punchy in Action News right now. Let's show you what's happening outside. We have a live Sky 6. This is a fantastic looking shot. This is from Margate. So what I like about this is that you can see the snow is falling, but you can see that it's almost moving horizontally because it's not just the snow, it's also the wind. They could be getting wind gusts up to 50 miles an hour at the shore. So that's why we have the near blizzard conditions expected tonight. That storm system is really just starting to crank up, and we have several more hours before everything is going to be dwindling finally tomorrow morning.
And the snow has been dumping. We have an update on some of the snow reports coming in. Easton up in Northampton County, just over 4 inches. Ventnor closer to the coast there, 4.5. Marlton, New Jersey, 5 inches. Skipback in Montgomery County, 1/2 foot of snow. And you can see just a couple of other reports there in New Jersey, Camden, Collingswood, over 7 inches. And as Cecily said, we're not done yet.
Yeah, it's really piling up. So we do have winter storm warnings in effect northwest of Philadelphia, and then for Philadelphia, parts of southeastern Pennsylvania, all of Delaware, and all of New Jersey, we have blizzard warnings. And that's because with winds that could be gusting more than 35 miles an hour for more than 3 hours in a row, we get the visibility less than a quarter mile. That's what would create a blizzard. That being said, even the blizzard of 96 actually fell short of blizzard criteria officially, but still you get the sense of it, that we're not just talking about the snow that's falling, we're talking about the winds that will be blowing the snow and really reducing visibility.
So let's look at what we have going on out there right now. You can see where exactly those heavier bands are setting up, really right over the I-95 corridor. As you work your way into some of the northwestern suburbs, we've had those 6-inch snowfall reports in the Skipback area. We've had people reporting about 1 to 2 inches of snow per hour. So the intensity of this is really starting to really give in at this point. You can see one band kind of approaching the Doylestown area. Also some pretty beefy bands as you work your way down here into parts of South Jersey, specifically into Cumberland County, also Salem County, and then we're still watching some of those heavier bands back into Camden and Gloucester counties.
And you may really want to stay on top of the storm with your shoveling, because the temperatures show you that we're hovering right around freezing, and the temperatures are really not going to be dropping overnight. We'll be around that in the overnight hours. So this is going to be a heavy, wet snow, that heartbreak snow. So if you have any health problems, if you have any back problems, you may want to call your teenager next door, have them shovel your driveway, because the consistency, it's kind of like paste, and it just is very heavy and it coats itself over everything.
And it's making for whiteout conditions. Look at the visibilities right now. We're still sitting at 1/4 mile in Philadelphia. Our shore points, Wildwood to Atlantic City, under 1 mile. And we even have reduced visibility into the northwestern suburbs. So we've been watching people driving here near our station. If you do not have to be out, it's a good night to stay inside.
And future trackers showing that we're in the height of the storm right now, and that really continues through the midnight hours. 1 o'clock, it's still snowing pretty heavily. Now by 6 o'clock in the morning, notice that areas west of Philadelphia, the snow has shut down. We still have some bands of snow right along the shore, and then as we head through the morning hours, it'll be tapering off to light snow, some snow showers around lunchtime, and then finally completely moving out by the afternoon.
So as Cecily mentioned, if you have any kind of underlying heart condition, health condition, find somebody that can safely remove the snow for you. 4 to 8 inches for our far northwestern counties. So that's Berks, Lehigh, Northampton through the Poconos, and then 8 to 12 inches. That includes the city of Philadelphia, Wilmington, areas like Trenton, and then 12 to 18 inches over Millville, Mays Landing, the Jersey Shore up to Toms River. As we saw, 7-inch snowfall reports already. It's going to be really interesting to see how the rest of the night unfolds.
Yeah, that's a lot of snow. So we will have an update on Action News at 11 o'clock, also PHL 17 at 10 o'clock. A lot to track, a big storm, so please stay safe out there. Stay off the roads if you can.
Action News, Philadelphia's leading news program, with meteorologist Brittany and Walter Perez.
A massive winter storm is bearing down on the Delaware Valley and surrounding areas with no signs of letting up right now.
We're taking a live look from Sky 6 showing the heavy snow falling right now on the Ben Franklin Parkway in Center City, Philadelphia.
Right now, the entire tri-state area is under a state of emergency. Philadelphia is also under a disaster emergency, with the worst of the storm yet to come.
SEPTA has suspended all bus service just a short time ago. The suspension is expected to last until conditions improve.
And of course, the storm is disrupting travel in and out of airports across the Northeast. Right now, there are about 350 reported cancellations at Philadelphia International Airport, with 600 flights already canceled for tomorrow. It is Sunday night. I'm Walter Perez alongside Sarah Bloomquist. The big story, of course, in Action News is the powerful nor'easter pounding the Delaware Valley. A blizzard warning remains in effect for all of New Jersey and Delaware and parts of southeastern Pennsylvania as well.
Heavy snow, whiteout conditions, and powerful winds are expected to cripple travel throughout the night and into the morning commute. We have extensive team coverage for you tonight. Our reporters are spread out across the region, bringing you the very latest on current conditions and what you need to know to stay safe.
But first, we have team weather coverage. Meteorologists Cecily, Tynan, and Brittany Boyer start us off with the latest from AccuWeather. Hey, guys.
Hey, and things have definitely been going downhill very quickly with the intensity of the snowfall.
Yeah, we are at the height of the storm right now. We have several hours before the snow starts to taper off. So let's head over to the Action News Weather Center, show you Storm Tracker 6 live double scan. So where you see the bright blue, that's the really intense snow. Where you see the lighter shades of blue and the white, that's the lighter snow. We have been seeing the bands of the heavy snow working in from the Atlantic. You can see one band just rotating right into Philadelphia as we speak. And in these bands, we have snow falling at the rate of 1 to 2 inches per hour. So it's really intense, but every now and then you get a lull in the action where you see that white, that's the lull, and that's pushing inland across the Atlantic City Expressway. But we have another feeder band that's just starting to push in right along the coast to Garden State Parkway, and we're going to be seeing this on over and over again right into early tomorrow morning. The reason why satellite and radar showing this low pressure is bombing out. It's rapidly intensifying, and by tomorrow morning the pressure will be equivalent to a Category 2 hurricane. So that really shows the intensity of the system, and because of that, the snow is really starting to pile up. Berwyn 6.5 inches, Hocas and Mount Laurel, Collingswood 7 inches, Lumberton 7.5, and Skippack Township close to 8 inches of snow already. Visibility is also dropping down to a quarter mile in Philadelphia, so this is another reason why you want to stay off the roads. It's hard to see anything, and the winds, we now have a wind gust of 44 miles per hour in Atlantic City, and that's going to be blowing around that snow and also causing the possibility of some power outages. So what happens from here? Let's bring in Brittany Boyer to talk about where we go through the overnight hours.
And we talk about how this is almost hurricane and tropical like. If we look at those winds, we're looking at even tropical storm force winds. If you put it in that same category for the shore, already gusting well over 40 miles per hour. You can see our expected wind gusts at the shore really peaking late tonight, gusting potentially over 50 miles per hour at 11 o'clock tonight, and even into tomorrow morning, our winds still gusting over 40 miles per hour. So you have a number of impacts that you're going to be dealing with. One of them is going to be coastal flooding. It's a northeast wind and it's pushing all of that water inland. So looking at the high tide cycle, it's around midnight tonight. So we're closing in on a moderate coastal flood risk for Barnegat Light, Atlantic City, also the Great Egg Harbor Bay, and then major coastal flooding possible down in Cape May Harbor with a departure from normal over 3.5 feet. So we're looking at, like I said, a number of impacts. You might be wondering, when is all of this going to end? Let's break things down by timing here. 6 to 9 o'clock in the morning, we'll see snow showers and flurries north and west, with light snow continuing around the I-95 corridor and areas south and east. From 9 until about noon, we're drying out for the northwestern suburbs. Still some snow showers in I-95 and light snow south and east. After we get through about lunchtime, we're drying out around the I-95 corridor. The caboose of the snow showers continuing south and east of the city. Once all is said and done, our snowfall totals, we're thinking it's going to be a little bit closer to 8 inches for the Poconos, also the Lehigh Valley, 8 to 12 around the I-95 metro, with 12 to 18 inches inches over parts of New Jersey and Delaware. We're going to talk much more about the snowfall totals and the timing when I see you guys in just a few minutes.
All right. Thank you, Brittany. Like Brittany and Cecily mentioned, the Jersey Shore is expected to see the worst of this storm.
Action News reporter Taronda Thomas joins us live from Atlantic City with a look at conditions there right now. Doesn't look so great, Taronda.
No, it doesn't feel great either, being out in a point where the snow is being whipped so hard by the wind that it comes right at you. I want to give you a look at where we are in Atlantic City, right next to the outlet. So it's usually a pretty busy area, barely a soul on the road, save for a couple of cars and these fire trucks. We did hear a fire alarm off in the distance, so chances are they're responding to that. But look at the roads, the snowpack that's on these roads that have been treated time and time again, that have been plowed several times. Now we're starting to see the snow accumulate because it's just falling quicker than crews can keep up with it. Atlantic City officials say this is the most dangerous storm they've seen since 2016. While most people are seeking shelter, some have no choice but to face the storm.
I never did this before, but this is the first time I came out in a snowstorm to go to work.
More than a snowstorm, a blizzard.
Well, I heard there was a blizzard and I didn't want to miss it.
The wind whipping snowflakes in Atlantic City as police patrol the snow-packed roads. Snow coating everything from the streets to the boardwalk, where walking is treacherous.
I don't really like it. I just slipped and fell and twisted my ankle.
The boards are always slippery. You gotta be careful. Any moisture on them boards make them slimy.
Slippery conditions persisted even though plows came by several times an hour to clear off the boardwalk, but it was no match for the snow, which accumulates quickly in this type of weather. Visitors to Atlantic City seeking shelter in casinos and hotels.
The added advantage is I don't have to shovel off my car or dig it out because it's in Caesar's parking garage.
You're a smart guy.
That was the whole plan.
This family from Florida got stuck and a little caught off guard.
I got used to that Florida weather, so was not expecting this when we came up whatsoever.
It's too cold. I enjoy Florida better.
Atlantic City is one of the areas that could see 1 to 2 inches of snow per hour. The city already closing its offices on Monday as all of New Jersey is under a state of emergency, hunkering down for the type of storm not seen in 3 decades.
I just came out to see what it was like from that door to this door.
You've had enough.
I've had enough. I'm headed back in. Thank you very much.
That is a smart guy. Now we want to give you a look at the light because really this contrast is the best way to see how quickly and steadily the snow is falling, but also how much the wind is whipping that snow around. It's going in all different directions, swirling, and at times there are gusts of winds that just come so hard, so heavy, so fast that my photographer and I have had to brace ourselves because it kind of knocks you off your feet. The wind is what creates those blizzard-like conditions because it decreases visibility so much. So that's why you're seeing Governor Mikey Sherrill advise people to stay home, to not go on the roads unless absolutely necessary. As those fire trucks clear out, we would hope a lot of other people heed that warning to stay safe because these roads are definitely snowpacked as we feel the impact of this blizzard in Atlantic City. We are live in Atlantic City. Taronda Thomas, Channel 6 Action News.
It is looking raw there in AC. All right, thank you, Taronda. All 21 counties in New Jersey are under a state of emergency, as we mentioned. A travel ban took effect at 9 p.m., and it's expected to last until 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. In an update today, Governor Mikey Sherrill said every county could receive at least a foot of snow. She also said this could end up being the worst storm in New Jersey in 30 years.
It's going to be a heavy, wet snow with really high winds up to 60 miles per hour. So we're worried about some of the trees and branches coming down and things like power lines onto roads.
The governor is also reminding New Jersey residents to report power outages to your utility provider.
The city of Philadelphia is also seeing significant impacts from this storm and will for several more hours.
Action News reporter Amanda Pitts joins us live from the Ben Franklin Parkway with a look at conditions out there right now. Amanda.
Yeah, hey Walter and Sarah, we're just watching this snow pile up here in the city. It looks like we've already gotten a few inches here along the parkway. You can see when I step into it. What's interesting is the wind is really pushing this snow sideways. And so check out the tree. Only one side of all of these trees has snow on it, which is so interesting. And check out the roads. They're looking pretty dicey at this hour. Even with plows coming through periodically, the snow is coming down at such a quick pace that it's hard for them to keep up. And this is why people are urged to stay home.
I'm kind of annoyed that this is happening again.
Do you have beef with the groundhog now?
Huge beef. Me and Punxsutawney are not friends.
Yet another winter storm this season is an unwelcome sight for many Philadelphians.
It just melted like 2 days ago and now it's deja vu, so I'm not too happy about it.
Sunday afternoon, rain changed over to snow around 3 o'clock, creating whiteout conditions along the Schuylkill River, cloaking the city skyline in white. As snow piled up on streets in Center City, crews quickly got to work. Clearing roads and shoveling sidewalks and bike lanes, the city has deployed 1,000 personnel and 800 pieces of equipment to tackle the cleanup.
I like a little bit of snow, but last time the city really struggled to clear it in our neighborhood.
In Rittenhouse Square, snow coated the trees as people strolled through with their furry friends.
She came in from California. This is her second day here. And she's a little cold right now, so I think we're gonna go inside.
But it wasn't too cold for this man in shorts walking to get a pizza. And at the Philadelphia Art Museum, the conditions didn't stop one man from a late night workout.
I'm training for an Ironman. I still had to get my run in, so no excuses. Gotta come out in the snow, and it's a beautiful night, so great time to enjoy the weather and obviously see some of the views around the city.
Now back out here live, you can see some of these city crews coming through the parkway as we speak. About 3 of them, a good fleet, working to clear the roads. Again, the city has hundreds of pieces of equipment out on the roads throughout this storm, working to clean it up. Again, you heard from many folks, they're hoping this storm is a different story than the last one and that they'll be able to clean this up in a timely manner. For now, live along the parkway, Amanda Pitts, Channel 6 Action News. Back to you.
Yeah, you even putting the trash trucks to work tonight to get some of that cleared. They're going to use every piece of equipment they can. Amanda, thank you. Today, Philadelphia Mayor Sherrell Parker declared a disaster emergency throughout the city. The city is also under a snow emergency. The mayor says the declarations allow the city to better fight the storm. In addition, the School District of Philadelphia moves to virtual learning tomorrow, as do archdiocesan schools in the city. You can see the full list of closings right there at the bottom of your screen, and trash and recycling will be on a 2-day delay.
Today, Pennsylvania Governor John Shapiro held a news conference to update the public on the state's preparations for this major winter storm.
He officially signed a disaster emergency proclamation for the Commonwealth, and Shapiro issued a plea to the public to give road crews the space that they need.
To Pennsylvanians out there, especially to our kids, I hope you enjoy the storm. I hope you have fun in the snow, but I also hope that folks take it seriously. And again, give our road crews, give our police, give our emergency management professionals the space and the ability to do what they do best, clear the snow, and ensure everyone's well-being. With that,
And of course, the state of Delaware is certainly not being spared from this nor'easter. This is video from Felton, Kent County, where there could be up to a foot of snow or more.
DelDOT officials tell us that their plows are out across the state to begin removing the snow. You are asked to stay off the roadways, if at all possible. Download the free 6ABC app to stay on top of this storm.
That's where you'll find the latest forecast updates from our team of meteorologists. Much more to come in Action News. Another check of the AccuWeather forecast included.
Mobile 6 is giving us a live look at the conditions here in South Jersey right now. Meteorologist Cecily Tynan will have your AccuWeather forecast when Action News continues.
You're watching Action News at 10 on PHL 17. Taking a live look here from Mobile 6 of the conditions on Route 70 in Cherry Hill with photojournalist Yuri Gershman behind the wheel.
Yeah, you can see the snow coming down here as he begins to move a little bit. It does look like this has been plowed and is cleared pretty well, but you can see by those flags or the things advertising the Wendy's there that they are bouncing around in the wind right now.
Our team coverage continues now with a look at conditions in Montgomery County.
Yeah, Action News reporter Brianna Gallagher is joining us now live from East Norriton with more. Brianna.
Yeah, Sarah, Walter, we've been in Montgomery County for all of the evening. Right now we're in East Norriton. Behind me is Germantown Pike. You can see the road is pretty snow covered. The good news is, though, most people are staying home. At this point, it's shifted to primarily plows out on the road.
This lovely weather we're having, it's awesome.
As night fell, the snow picked up, the visibility got worse, and more crews hit the roads.
Long. Probably into at least tomorrow night, plowing.
It's gonna be a long night for us.
having fun.
Snow covered the roads in Norristown. Some were even trekking through it on foot. Although it wasn't full, SEPTA was out taking it slow, helping people get home tonight.
Some are better than others, mostly pretty slick, but it's a heavy, wet snow, so it's going to be wet and a little bit dangerous.
People made sure to stock up as the storm moved in so they could hunker down until it's over.
We probably have enough supplies to last us a year at home, but you know, my wife always wants something else.
We have a snowblower, so my husband is ready for that. Yeah, and I'll be sitting inside making soup.
This evening, relax. Tomorrow, we'll see what it does, and maybe Tuesday we'll think about digging out.
Get out of my way. Just stay out. Stay out of it. Stay home.
Hopefully everybody stays home and doesn't come out in this. It's not safe.
Stay home, stay safe. You're going to continue to hear that advice all night. Take a look at these tire tracks right here. You can see how quickly this snow is coming down. We just drove through here about maybe 15 minutes or so. So yeah, it's coming down pretty quickly out here. We're now live in East Norriton. Brianna Gallagher for Action News at 10 on PHL 17. Walter, Sarah.
What a difference a few hours makes. A lot more snow out there for sure. Thank you, Brianna.
Meteorologist Cecily Tynan joining us live from the Weather Center with another check on the AccuWeather forecast as we make our way through this storm. Few hours in, hours to go.
Yes, it's coming down fast and furious, and I'm getting a lot of reports from our viewers saying that they've been out shoveling and they go inside for a few minutes, they come out and it's all covered up again. And temperatures are hovering right around freezing, and they're not going to be plunging overnight. So I want to stress that this a heavy wet snow. It's known as heart attack snow. So if you have any health problems, if you have heart problems or back problems, get the teenager next door to go ahead and do the shoveling, because this really can be very dangerous. Where you see the brighter blue, that's the heavier banding of snow, and we have that bright blue across most of our area right now. Every now and then you get a little bit of a lull, and then it fills right back in. So zooming in, you can see, in fact, this band is moving across upper Bucks County right now, parts of Montgomery County. It's going to be rotating into eastern Berks County. And then across the shore, got a little bit of a break there, parts of Atlantic County, but a heavier band has pushed inland. And also, you can see much of Delaware dealing with some of those heavier bands. Where you see the bright blue, that's the snow that's falling at the rate of about 1 to 2 inches per hour. So it can really pile up very quickly. Satellite radar showing this low pressure is bombing out. Bombogenesis, a fancy term for rapidly intensifying. It's tucked into the coast, and it's going to be moving very slowly. So that's why we get the hours and hours of the heavy snow and also the gusty winds. Future trackers showing 2 o'clock in the morning. We still have some bands of heavy snow. Philadelphia and areas to the east starting to taper off west of the city. By 6 o'clock in the morning, it's done west of the city, but we still have some moderate bands right around the shore. And then around lunchtime, it should be tapering off to some snow showers, and then everything's out of here before the evening commute. So as far as snowfall amounts, still looking at 4 to 8 inches in our far northwestern suburbs, probably closer to that 8 inches though. And then we have a wide area of 8 to 12 inches. And then you get across southern New Jersey, much of southern New Jersey, we're looking at 12 to 18 inches. Also, that extends into coastal Delaware. So this is going to be a very impactful, potentially historic storm, especially for New Jersey. The exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast. We have the AccuAlert continuing tomorrow because we still will be dealing with some snow early in the morning, tapering off to some snow showers. It's windy, but it's above freezing, so the melting will begin. 38 degrees. Tuesday, partly sunny, breezy and cool. 33 degrees. Now Wednesday, we likely will have some snow in the morning. It's not a big storm, but it could impact your morning commute. 44 degrees, the high by the afternoon. So some melting's going on. Still pretty unsettled on Thursday with some rain or snow showers. Late in the day, 41, and then sunshine is back on Friday. 43 degrees, and we turn the corner next weekend. 54 degrees on Saturday, even warmer than this past Saturday with lots of sunshine. Sunday clouding up, mostly cloudy, but still mild with a high of 52 degrees. And the nice thing is that there will be plenty of melting going on throughout the week, and especially next weekend. So this snow will be melting as we head through the week.
And we want to say thank you for that. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cecily.
Yep.
Our team coverage of the storm continues tomorrow morning. The Action News morning team will be in early to bring you the latest updates as you start your week.
Join Matt, Aliana, Karen, and Matt beginning at 4 a.m. tomorrow.
Justin, we checked with all the power companies in the area.
Now, areas closer to the shore are seeing a much larger number of outages right now. AC Electric has more than 10,000 outages, most in Atlantic and Cape May counties. Delmarva has 8,700 outages, most in Sussex County at the beach. Only 200 of those are in Newcastle County.
Now, PECO is reporting just 1,800 outages right now, and PSENG has 1,200. Action News is back with more continuing coverage next.
Diane Mazer sent us this video from Orfield, Lehigh County. The Lehigh Valley is expected to get the least amount of snow across our viewing area.
You can send us your pictures by going to 6abc.com/share. You just might see them right here on Action News. Our live team coverage continues over the next half hour of Action News.
Here's a live look from our camera, our AtTheShore.com camera. Ooh. Take a look at this.
Oh, it's sideways.
Yes, this is the Margate Fishing Pier. The snow is expected to continue intensifying overnight. Meteorologist Cecily, Tynan, and Brittany Boyer will have another update on your forecast. Whew, it's scary out there. We'll be right back.
Action News at 10:30 on PHL 17 now continues.
It is Sunday night. I'm Walter Perez alongside Sarah Bloomquist in the news this half hour. Our extended coverage of the blizzard of 2026 continues right now.
Steady snow and strong winds are bearing down on much of our region. Let's get right to check of the AccuWeather forecast. Meteorologist Cecily, Tynan, and Brittany Boyer are live with the latest on the conditions. Ladies.
Yeah, well, the storm system is definitely underway, and we have several more hours before it starts to weaken and eventually taper off to snow showers tomorrow morning. Storm Tracker 6 Live double scan showing that we are really in the thick of it, especially Philadelphia, areas south and east, New Jersey, Delaware. We're getting a lot of these bands of the heavy snow rotating in from the Atlantic. Where you see that brighter blue, that's that snow falling at the rate of about 1 to 2 inches per hour. We've got one band working through Salem, Cumberland County into Kent County, Delaware. And it's not out of the question that you even hear a rumble of thunder with some of these bands. There's enough lift that we could have a few reports of some thunder snow, and I've been getting a few of them in from our Action News viewers on Facebook. Snowfall totals really starting to pile up. Pennsylvania, Whitehall Township 3.8, Mertztown, Berks County 4.3, the Bustleton section of Philadelphia 5 inches, Bryn Mawr also 5 inches, Berwyn 6.5, and Skippack reporting 7.8 inches of snow. In Dover, Delaware 6 inches, Atlantic City 7.3, Lumberton 7.5, Malaga 8 inches, and Blackwood and Hainesport now reporting 9 inches of snow. We still have several more hours to go. Philadelphia currently moderate snow, 32 degrees, that wind out of the north at 20 miles an hour. So it feels like 20, but it's a heavy wet snow, and temperatures will be hovering right around freezing as we head through the overnight hours. So for what's to come, let's head over to Brittany Boyer to talk about the impact scale as we head through the overnight hours.
And it's going to be many more hours that we're dealing with these kind of conditions. We've been looking at a lot of Sky 6 cameras. We've been checking in with our reporters, and we have that very low visibility out there. So through 11 o'clock, after midnight, even 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, we're still looking at high impacts here with this nor'easter. We'll gradually start to taper things off, but the snow is going to be ending west to east. So parts of New Jersey, not until tomorrow afternoon, you're in the clear. So you're going to be dealing with all of this steady snow overnight tonight. Notice north and west, Berks County into Lancaster County, we start to lessen the intensity of the snowfall as it continues around Philadelphia, down toward the shore, Cape May County, 7:30 tomorrow morning. Notice all of the counties to the west that are starting to clear things out, and we'll have those lingering snow showers into tomorrow afternoon. And then a lot of people are going to be digging out. So if we look at your forecast, breaking things down region by region, a lot of the day tomorrow in the Lehigh Valley is just cloudy and decent cleanup weather. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-30s. We do have the whipping winds in Philadelphia. After lunchtime, a lot tapers off, but down at the shore, guys, the snow continues at least into tomorrow afternoon.
Oh boy. All right. Thank you, Brittany.
Let's get over to Action News reporter Taronda Thomas live in Atlantic City tonight. Taronda, the snow really coming down. That part of our region really bearing the brunt of this.
Yeah, this area could get 1 to 2 inches of snow per hour. And the story here really, along with the snow, is the wind. So I want to give you a look at the area that we're at, particularly across this parking lot. Look at those trees. At times they just have a gentle sway, and at other times it looks like they're going to break because the wind just hits that hard. So it's off and on, and that wind really swirls the snowflakes around. There's not one particular direction that we're seeing this wind push. That's why when we're looking at accumulation and the amount of snow that's on the sidewalk, I can still walk on the sidewalk without a whole lot of trouble, but this doesn't really tell the full story because so much of that snow is being blown around that it's not all landing in one place, so it's not accumulating in the same place. If we take a look at the roads, this one was just plowed maybe about 10 minutes ago, and already you see that snow starting to accumulate again. One of the city workers passed by and said, hey, we're just doing what we can to try to keep up with the storm. We know they have to be out here, so we're thankful to them for doing what they have to do. But the governor of New Jersey is urging anyone else who doesn't have to be on the road to not be on the road. We are live in Atlantic City. Taronda Thomas, Channel 6 Action News.
Okay, Taronda, thank you.
Back here in the city, we're not expecting as much snow as the Delaware and Jersey coast, but we're still expecting to get up to a foot of snow. This is a live look from our Sky 6 camera right here in Winfield Heights outside the Action News studios. Mayor Sherelle Parker officially declared a snow emergency this afternoon.
Let's bring in Action News reporter Amanda Pitts, who's live along the Ben Franklin Parkway tonight. Amanda, what's happening there right now?
Yeah, hey Walter and Sarah, I'll tell you, it's honestly hard to keep my eyes open when I'm facing the wind because it's not as windy as it is down by the shore, but it's pretty windy here in the city, and it makes it really miserable to stand here and look at the flag. You can see how it's just being blown sideways and how the wind is blowing the snow pretty much all over the place. It's causing some pretty good accumulation numbers. This is not scientific, of course, with the wind and such, but it looks like we have about over 4 inches just in this one spot on the parkway. So a pretty good accumulation here in Center City. We've been watching these plow trucks. You can see one of these little front loaders here on the parkway working to clear bike lanes and sidewalks. We've also seen trash trucks with plows on the front of them. Here comes a city plow right now. So they are working to keep up with the amount of snow that's falling from this storm, but we are seeing a lot of it. So these crews are going to have quite a long night. So that's the latest live along the parkway. Amanda Pitts for Action News at 10 on PHL 17. Back to you guys.
Okay, Amanda, thank you.
Now, there are vehicle restrictions currently in place for roadways all across Pennsylvania. That includes the Pennsylvania Turnpike, along with I-276 and the entire length of the Northeast extension.
Passenger vehicles, along with recreational vehicles and motorcycles, are not allowed on the road during this weather emergency.
My message to the traveling public, as it was in January, was please don't travel unless it's absolutely necessary, starting tonight and into tomorrow. It really will help make sure that our response to the storm can be as efficient and professional as possible.
And of course, PennDOT officials say avoiding or delaying unnecessary travel during winter storms is always the safest option.
Amtrak is implementing significant service adjustments across the entire Northeast corridor as the transit company deals with this winter storm. Passengers are urged to check the Amtrak app or website for real-time updates. You can also rebook your travel without any penalties.
In New Jersey, the speed limit for main roads and highways has been reduced to 35 miles per hour if you need to be on the roads at all.
Action News reporter Brianna Smith joins us now live in Glassboro, Gloucester County with the latest on the conditions there. That's a lot of snow, Brianna.
Yeah, Sarah and Walter, we've seen a heavy, steady snowfall since we arrived here in Glassboro around 4. But what's different now is this strong wind. You may be able to see the intensity, which greatly reduces visibility and could potentially cause power outages. While some consider this a winter wonderland,
I love it. I'll take cold any day of the week. I love the snow. That's why I'm out walking in it.
Others are dreaming of warmer weather ahead.
It's cold. It's
terrible. It's terrible. I'm tired of it.
Gloucester County residents could see more than a foot of snow during this severe winter storm, making the sidewalks slippery and roads hazardous.
I'm trying to drive and I feel like my car is literally going like that.
I know it's not good for driving,
I'm a registered nurse at Cooper University Hospital, so, I've seen a lot of people come in from this weather, so my advice would be stay at home.
County leaders say they have a full salt stockpile and crews working around the clock to clear the roads.
A lot of these guys work 16-hour days, so, if they don't hit your street, just be a little patient because, they are out working. It is a big county, but we are working to get everybody, dug out.
Action News saw plows remove a layer of slush on Delsea Drive in Glassboro, as well as the inches of snow on secondary streets like Charles III Drive.
I'm hoping that, they'll be able to shovel out the roads as soon as they can, because, I know the last time it was a little bit messy.
Another concern, power outages. The county is expected to have wind gusts up to 45 miles per hour.
Most importantly, check in on your loved ones. If somebody needs help, don't be afraid to give it to them. This storm could get very ugly very quickly. So I think we just need to buckle down and be ready.
And right now you're taking a live look on Delsea Drive, what appears to be a utility truck working on power lines. There could be a power outage. We'll check in on that. And then taking a look at Delsea Drive, you can see it is covered in snow. We've seen some plows come through, but another layer of snow has formed, which just shows you how much the snow is coming down in this storm. There are also some travel restrictions on major roads in New Jersey until 7 a.m. Live in Glassboro, Brianna Smith for Action News at 10 on PHL 17. Walter and Sarah.
Brianna, thank you.
Along with tuning in to Action News, you can monitor this massive snowstorm on the free 6ABC app. It gives you full access to live interactive radar, so you know exactly what's happening right there in your neighborhood.
This is a live look from our Sky 6 camera towards Spring Mountain. Lots of fresh snow on the slopes. They love this. Stay with Action News as we continue mapping out the blizzard of 2026 across the Delaware Valley. The massive winter storm is resulting in extensive travel disruptions across the Northeast. Here we're taking a live look from Sky 6 at Philadelphia International Airport, where FlightAware is reporting more than 600 cancellations for tomorrow. You can see why from that picture. Officials from PHL tell Action News crews will work during the storm to clear the snow as it falls. Travelers are advised to contact airlines to check the status of your flight. The numbers of cancellations and delays will likely continue to rise throughout the storm. SEPTA is advising commuters to plan for significant service disruptions. All bus service was suspended at 10 p.m. The agency says any service suspended during the storm will only resume operations when it's safe to do so. Regional rail and other service will continue as usual. The agency says crews will be out during the storm to clear the tracks along with other relevant platforms and areas. Walt. Rain switched to snow at about 3 this afternoon, and now we are, about 8 hours in?
A lot of
just
snow.
Keep going.
Yeah. Meteorologist Cecily Tynan has details from the Weather Center.
Yeah, we have several hours to go. The storm unfolding pretty much as predicted. I know a lot of people this morning and early this afternoon were like, where's all the snow? Well, be careful what you wish for. Storm Tracker 6 live double scan showing that we have heavy snow across most of our viewing area, and wherever you see that bright blue, that's the snow that's falling at the rate about 1 to 2 inches per hour. And also notice those temperatures hovering right around freezing. They're not going to be plunging overnight, so that keeps the consistency a very heavy, wet snow. Storm Tracker 6 live double scan showing that we're getting a band of some heavier snow that's been working into Bucks County, also northeast Philadelphia currently. You can see how it's all kind of pivoting to the west, coming in from the ocean. And right now at the Jersey Shore, you're really getting pounded where the very heavy band moving right over the Garden State Parkway, also the eastern half of Kent County, Delaware dealing with it. So it's almost like a tropical system where you get kind of those feeder bands of the intense precipitation, and then it doesn't completely stop, but you get a lull in the action every now and then. What goes up must come down, so sometimes you get a little bit of a break. Visibility has definitely dropped down to a half mile in Atlantic City and Wildwood, 3/4 mile along the I-95 corridor. So this is another reason why you really should stay off the roads. Not only are the roads slippery, the visibility is also very low, so you really can't see with the snow falling and the winds blowing it. Satellite radar showing this is the low pressure that's deepening very quickly. It's bombing out. By tomorrow morning, it'll be the equivalent of a Category 2 hurricane in terms of pressure. So a storm like that keeps throwing the moisture inland and also keeps causing those gusty winds. So future tracker showing by about 3 o'clock in the morning, I think this is when our far western suburbs will start to see the snow machine shutting off. It's still cranking though east of Philadelphia. By about daybreak, about 7 o'clock, we still have some moderate snow along the Jersey shore. It's ending near Philadelphia, and then as we head into the afternoon, some lingering snow showers into South Jersey. So forecast amounts of snow. You can see much of South Jersey into coastal Delaware. We're looking at a foot to a foot and a half. So this is going to be an historic storm there, and still a lot along the I-95 corridor, the nearby suburbs, 8 to 12 inches, and then you get the far northwest suburbs, Lehigh Valley, the Poconos, Berks County, 4 to 8 inches. But the way it's unfolding looks like it'll be a lot closer to that 8 inches because a lot of areas already over 4. And again, please be careful. Shoveling concerns tomorrow, an AccuWeather alert day. They call this heart attack snow because it's so dense, heavy, and wet. So it's really hard to shovel all of that, especially if you weren't keeping up through the storm. So if you are elderly, if you have any health concerns or any back issues, the best thing is to maybe hire somebody. Or if you are out there, just really take your time, just do a little bit at a time because it really can be dangerous. Tomorrow, we're looking at 38 degrees for the high after morning light snow. It'll be windy, but with 38 degrees, we will get some melting. The exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast and AccuAlert continues tomorrow morning with some of that light snow tapering off by the afternoon. We get some sunshine. It's windy, 38 degrees. Tuesday, partly sunny, breezy, 33. Now, Wednesday morning, we have another round of possible snow. Doesn't look to be a big storm, but it could impact the morning commute. 44 degrees. Thursday, still pretty unsettled with some late day rain or snow, 41 degrees. And then finally by Friday, the sun shines back, 43 degrees. And the weekend, man, we deserve this. Saturday, 54 degrees with sunshine. Sunday, still looking pretty mild, 52, but mostly cloudy. So the good news is we will get melting through the week, but there's going to be a lot of snow to melt. And finally, I saw grass at my house like
Imagine
yesterday.
that.
I was like, come on.
Not anymore. It's all gone.
Thank goodness that the temperatures aren't dipping overnight.
I know.
I mean, my goodness.
But it is a heavy wet snow. It
Sure.
really is dangerous to shovel.
Okay.
All right.
Cecily, thank you.
Our team coverage of this massive winter storm continues tomorrow morning. The Action News morning team will begin nice and early to bring you the latest updates as you start your week. Join Matt, Aliana, Karen, and Matt beginning at 4 a.m. tomorrow.
Well, viewers are sending us pictures and videos of what the snow looks like in their area.
Very cool. Chuck Jones sent us this photo of his home in Hatboro, Montgomery County, lit up for the Olympics.
Nice. Kathy Pierce also sent us this picture from her house in Magnolia, Delaware.
You can see the snow piling up on the front and the backyard furniture right there at her home.
We want to see your pictures and videos as well. Send them to 6abc.com/share.
You just might see them right here on Action News.
And thank you for joining us tonight for Action News at 10.
Now for Sarah Bloomquist, Brittany Boyer, Cecily Tynan, and the entire Action News team, I'm Walter Perez. Have a good night and a great week ahead. Next on Action News at 11, snow is covering the beaches down the Jersey shore.
We have live team coverage of the blizzard of 2026 across the region. That's next.
Action News, Philadelphia's leading news program.
From the city of Philadelphia to the Jersey shore, the suburbs, and the ski resorts as well.
The entire tri-state region is being blanketed in white as blizzard warnings are in effect for much of the region.
And the snow is beginning to pile up on power lines, trees, and roadways as we endure a second wallop of the season from Old Man Winter. Action News found a man getting a jump on shoveling the snow before it piles too high.
Plows are also out as well, trying to clear the roads as we endure the second snowstorm in just 1 month's time.
It is Sunday night. I'm Walter Perez alongside Sarah Bloomquist. The big story in Action News, of course, is the blizzard of 2026.
This historic snowfall is leaving every part of the Delaware and Lehigh valleys covered in white, but the Jersey shore is experiencing the brunt of this storm. There are also a number of school closings for tomorrow, and that information you can see running right there at the bottom of your screen.
The Action News team is spread out all across the region to give you a look at the latest conditions.
We will check in with them in just a moment, but first, our AccuWeather team also has you covered tonight.
Let's check in with meteorologists Brittany and Cecily Tynan with more on how this storm is progressing. Hey guys.
And it's just been an impressive storm to watch. I mean, this afternoon we still had rain across the area.
And now temperatures near freezing. Not only do we have snow, it's like a snow globe out there where we have the intense snow bands and we have the blowing as well. Storm Tracker 6 Live double scan show that where you have the brighter blue, that's some more intense snow bands. And we're seeing more of these across New Jersey and Delaware. And then it kind of lessens as you move north and west. But there's a really intense band that's pushing in from the coast right now. Atlantic County, Cape May County, also we've got a band across Kent County, Delaware, and where you see the blue bands, that's the snow that's falling at the rate of 1 to 2 inches per hour. And also it's not out of the question there's enough lift that there could be even a rumble of thunder. Thunder snow is not out of the realm of possibilities, and the snow is really starting to pile up. Whitehall Township 3.8, Mertztown 4.3, Bryn Mawr reporting 5 inches of snow, Garnet Valley 6 inches, Berwyn 6.5, and Skipack 7.8 inches of snow, closing in on 8. Dover, Delaware 6 inches, Atlantic City 7.3, Lumberton 7.5, Malaga 8 inches, Blackwood and Hainesport now reporting 9 inches of snow. And of course we have several more hours before the storm winds down. Visibility also reduced. This is another reason why you shouldn't be traveling. Not only is it slippery, visibility down to a half mile in Philadelphia, the same in Millville, a half mile to 3/4 mile along the coast, and those winds are fierce. We now have a 45-mile-an-hour wind gust in Atlantic City, tropical storm force winds, and this storm, it's kind of bombing out, and by tomorrow morning it will have the pressure that's equivalent to a Category 2 hurricane. So I want to bring Brittany in to talk more about what to expect as we head overnight into tomorrow.
And the winds are really just starting to peak at this point. We still have several hours to go. If we look at the shore in particular, after midnight we very well could have gusts exceeding 50 miles per hour, and even notice by about lunchtime tomorrow we still have those strong wind gusts coming in out of the north and east. We do have concerns for the tidal flooding. Our high tide is coming in within the next hour or two, and we have the threat for minor coastal flooding here along the Delaware. But look at some of the shore points here. Moderate flooding possible, and that does include some of our shore points like Atlantic City, also Ocean City. So let's time things out for you, what you can expect when things are going to wrap up around here. 6 to 9 o'clock in the morning, we'll have some snow showers and flurries north and west of the city, but the I-95 corridor and points south and east, you're still dealing with light snow. 9 until about noon, drying out north and west, so if you want to head out and start doing cleanup, that's the time to do it. The I-95 corridor, you still have snow showers, while we still have at least some light snow south and east of the city. And from noon until 3 o'clock, we're drying out along the I-95 corridor with the last of the snow showers moving out. We're looking at about 8 inches of snow in the Poconos and the Lehigh Valley, the northwestern suburbs, also the I-95 Metro, 8 to 12 inches, and then all the way to the coast, 12 to 18 inches. This is a powerful storm, Sarah and Walter, and we'll continue to watch it through tonight.
It's not over yet. No. All right, thank you, Brittany.
Well, this is a live look from our attheshore.com camera checking out Atlantic City tonight.
Once again, the Jersey Shore is expected to get walloped by this blizzard with the highest accumulations there. Action News reporter Tronda Thomas in Atlantic City tonight.
She joins us live with an update on the conditions as the storm intensifies. It's only gotten worse and worse as you've been out there, Tronda.
Yeah, the snow has not stopped for the past few hours, and every now and then we get a nice brief little respite from the wind, and then it kicks right back up. I want to give you a look at where we are, which is right by the outlets in Atlantic City. This is a major area, but as you see the wind whipping the snow around, look past that Puma store. Once you go past there, it's harder to see. That decreased visibility is really what makes for a blizzard. Atlantic City officials say this is the most dangerous storm they've seen since 2016, and while most people are seeking shelter, some have no choice but to face the storm.
I never did this before, but this is the first time I came out in a snowstorm to go to work.
More than a snowstorm, a blizzard.
Well, I heard there was a blizzard and I didn't want to miss it.
The wind whipping snowflakes in Atlantic City as police patrol the snow-packed roads. Snow coating everything from the streets to the boardwalk, where walking is treacherous.
I don't really like it. I just slipped and fell and twisted my ankle.
The boards are always slippery. You gotta be careful. Any moisture on them boards make them slimy.
Slippery conditions persisted even though plows came by several times an hour to clear off the boardwalk. But it was no match for the snow, which accumulates quickly in this type of weather. Visitors to Atlantic City seeking shelter in casinos and hotels.
The added advantage is I don't have to shovel off my car or dig it out because it's in Caesar's parking garage.
You're a smart guy.
That was the whole plan.
This family from Florida got stuck and a little caught off guard.
I got used to that Florida weather, so was not expecting this when we came up whatsoever.
It's too cold. I enjoy Florida better.
Atlantic City is one of the areas that could see 1 to 2 inches of snow per hour. The city already closing its offices on Monday as all of New Jersey is under a state of emergency, hunkering down for the type of storm not seen in 3 decades.
I just came out to see what it was like from that door to this door.
You've had enough.
I've had enough. I'm headed back in. Thank you very much.
He's got the right idea. Now, taking one more look at this road. 15 seconds ago, 2 plows just came by and they were able to get the extra snow off that accumulated, but they can't get all of it off. It's just impossible right now with the rate that it's falling, even with roads being pre-treated. We've seen a couple people here or there going down the roads, but this is not what officials in New Jersey recommend unless it's absolutely necessary. New Jersey's governor urging people to stay off the roads. And there goes that gust of wind. Like we said, every now and then it just kicks up. It makes it hard to see, hard to even stand. So we have been out here in the conditions, and we can definitely tell you we are reaching those blizzard-type winds as the snow continues to fall here in Atlantic City. We are live in Atlantic City. Taronda Thomas, Channel 6 Action News.
We can see that wind whipping. My goodness. All right, thank you, Taronda.
Thank you, Taronda. Let's turn live now to Action News reporter Amanda Pitts in Center City, Philadelphia, right there on the Parkway.
And Amanda, the snow plows have been working the Ben Franklin Parkway the past few hours.
Yeah, Walter and Sarah, they have, but the wind and the snow is a really miserable combo out here in Center City. The snow is coming down at a really steady clip. An example of that is this walkway. We saw a front loader plow this just minutes ago, and look, it is already covered in snow again.
I'm kind of annoyed that this is happening again.
Do you have beef with the groundhog now?
Huge beef. Me and Punxsutawney are not friends.
Yet another winter storm this season is an unwelcome sight for many Philadelphians.
It just melted like 2 days ago, and now it's deja vu. So I'm not too happy about it.
Sunday afternoon, rain changed over to snow around 3 o'clock, creating whiteout conditions along the Schuylkill River, cloaking the city's skyline in white. As snow piled up on streets in Center City, crews quickly got to work. Clearing roads and shoveling sidewalks and bike lanes, the city has deployed 1,000 personnel and 800 pieces of equipment to tackle the cleanup.
I like a little bit of snow, but last time the city really struggled to clear it in our neighborhood.
In Rittenhouse Square, snow coated the trees as people strolled through with their furry friends.
She came in from California. This is her second day here. And she's a little cold right now, so I think we're going to go inside.
But it wasn't too cold for this man in shorts walking to get a pizza. And at the Philadelphia Art Museum, the conditions didn't stop one man from a late-night workout.
I'm training for an Ironman. I still had to get my run in, so no excuses. Got to come out in the snow, and it's a beautiful night, so great time to enjoy the weather and obviously see some of the views around the city.
Now back out here live to the Parkway, you can see how much snow is caked on these roads. We're still seeing quite a bit of traffic at this hour, but people are urged to stay home because we're seeing a lot of spinouts, a lot of dangerous driving out here. I want to show you our ruler, not a scientific measurement by any means, but it looks to be about 6 inches in this one spot here along the Parkway. Some significant snow totals here, with a long night and morning ahead. For now, live along the Parkway, Amanda Pitts, Channel 6 Action News. Back to you guys.
The Action News ruler is very, very accurate. I just want to make that clear. All right, thank you, Amanda.
Thanks, Amanda. This is a live picture of the conditions at Philadelphia International Airport. Can barely make things out there tonight.
As you'd imagine, hundreds of cancellations today and tomorrow due to the snowstorm. All SEPTA bus service has been suspended because of the conditions. The transit agency saying all bus routes were stopped at 10 o'clock tonight.
And the Center City trolley tunnel closed at 9 o'clock, but the trolleys continued to run as conditions warrant. Trains on the Norristown high-speed line will run until the end of scheduled service, as well as the regional rail service.
Meanwhile, the state of Delaware is also getting hit by the nor'easter, of course. This is video from Felton, Kent County, where they could receive a foot of snow or more.
DelDOT officials tell us that their plows are out across the state to begin removing the snow. You're asked again to stay off the road if possible. We invite you to join us for Action News beginning at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning.
We'll have the latest snowfall totals, traffic conditions, and much more starting at 4 a.m. Much more on the blizzard of 2026 in just a moment.
This is a live picture as the snow continues to fall tonight. Independence Mall. Beautiful picture, but it's getting dangerous out there. A lot of snow still to come. We'll be back in a moment.
Mobile 6 is live right now. This is along Kings Highway in Haddonfield Township.
Actually looking pretty good here. Where they're down to the pavement. They must have had the plows really working overtime to get to this point. But Mobile 6 moving along here as the snow continues to fall all across South Jersey and the rest of the region.
Let's go check on the snowfall in the suburbs tonight.
Action News reporter Brianna Gallagher joins us live from Bethlehem Pike in Flourtown, Montgomery County with a look at the conditions there. Brianna.
Well, Sarah, Walter, we've been all over Montgomery County tonight. We have since made our way to Flourtown. The good news, the roads here, at least Bethlehem Pike, it's plowed. We're seeing plows come through every few minutes or so they're actively out there. The bad news, they are really slick and slippery. It took us quite a bit of time to get here.
This lovely weather we're having, it's awesome.
As night fell, the snow picked up, the visibility got worse, and more crews hit the roads.
Long. Probably into at least tomorrow night, plowing.
It's gonna be a long night for us, having fun.
Snow covered the roads in Norristown. Some were even trekking through it on foot. Although it wasn't full, SEPTA was out taking it slow, helping people get home tonight.
Some are better than others, mostly pretty slick, but it's a heavy, wet snow, so it's gonna be wet and a little bit dangerous.
People made sure to stock up as the storm moved in so they could hunker down until it's over.
We probably have enough supplies to last us a year at home, but you know, my wife always wants something else.
We have a snowblower, so my husband is ready for that. Yeah, and I'll be sitting inside making soup.
This evening, relax. Tomorrow, we'll see what it does, and maybe Tuesday we'll think about digging out.
Get out of my way. Just stay out. Stay out of it. Stay home.
Hopefully everybody stays home and doesn't come out in this. It's not safe.
Yes, stay home and stay safe. Now, luckily, Bethlehem Pike, it's mostly plowed. There are a lot of clumps of snow. That is super slick. The roads to get here, a lot of back roads, they are packed with snow. It's pretty impressive how quickly the snow is falling and how much it's measuring up to be. So if you are heading out, be safe. But once again, officials are telling you to be home. And that's what we are seeing out here tonight, mostly plow crews tonight. For now, we're live in Flourtown. Brianna Gallagher, Channel 6 Action News. Sarah, Walter.
That's good to hear. People heeding the warnings. Brianna, thank you.
We're taking a live look outside at conditions along Penn's Landing. Now, this whole thing started as rain, but it's been snowing for hours and it's not over yet.
Yeah, live look here. Penn's Landing, as Walter said, lots of snow on the ground along the Delaware River. Our coverage of the blizzard of 2026 continues right after this.
Here's a picture sent to us here at Action News revealing the brighter side of the blizzard hitting our region.
Yes, so this is a snowman created by this guy, Harrison, in Medford, Burlington County. And as they've been forecasting this storm, they did tell us this would be good snowman making snow.
Harrison was listening.
Harrison was listening.
All right, time for a check now of the AccuWeather forecast.
Yeah, the meteorologists Brittany Boyer and Cecily Tynan tracking it all in the Weather Center with the details. It's that packed together snow, right?
It's perfect for making snowmen. It's perfect for maybe snowball fights tomorrow when the kids are home from school.
Yeah, not so perfect for the adults that have to clean up the snow, though, because it is that heavy, wet consistency.
Yeah, absolutely. Get the teenagers in your neighborhood to go ahead and do it. And let's head over to the Action News Weather Center, because the reason why it's that heavy, wet snow, it's the temperature. If you want a light, fluffy snow, you need a lot of cold air. You look at these temperatures, and they are marginal. They're only around freezing or just slightly below, and they stay steady all night long. We're also getting some bands of some heavy snow working in from the Atlantic. Storm Tracker zoomed in showing that we've got one band that's moving through parts of Chester County right now, Montgomery County, another one that's moving through Bucks County, Northeast Philadelphia, right through Philadelphia, and that actually band extends through Camden, Gloucester, Salem, Cumberland County. You can see it's rotating to the west. It'll be pushing into Delaware, and then we've got plenty more on the way. We're getting those feeder bands from that system that's almost acting like a tropical storm, bringing us the rotating bands of the moisture. It's also reducing visibility. We're down to a half-mile in Philadelphia, half-mile in Millville, 3/4 mile in Trenton. So that's another reason why it's really important to stay off the roads. Not only are the roads snow-covered and slippery, it's really hard to see. Satellite and radar showing this low pressure, it's bombing out. It's rapidly intensifying. By tomorrow morning, it'll likely have the pressure that's equivalent of a Category 2 hurricane. So when you have a storm like this, you get rising air on the northwest flank. We also have what's known as an inverted trough, which is also an area of rising air. But between the two, you get subsidence, you get sinking air. So that's why part of our far northwest suburbs, they're kind of getting ripped off with the snowfall totals with that sinking air. For more details on that, let's bring in Brittany Boyers, because this really does have an effect on the snowfall totals.
Absolutely, and we've been watching all of the reports trickle in by the minute to the National Weather Service, and I will say that the 4 to 8 inch area is doing pretty good, mostly getting 4-inch reports out of parts of Berks and also out of parts of Lehigh County. Then as we work our way here into the I-95 corridor, that 8 to 12 inch area, we do have a couple of reports that have been coming in from Camden County, around 10 inches or so. So we do have some high reports coming in. Still looking at 12 to 18 inches of snow here as you work your way into parts of South Jersey, the Jersey Shore, also into coastal Delaware. Keep in mind, we still have several hours to go as this system continues. And I mentioned the fact that, yeah, it's good snow for snowball making and snowman making, but not so good if you're going to be doing any shoveling. We call it a heart attack snow just because it has a lot of moisture content to it. It's extremely strenuous work, even for people that are in shape. If you have a heart condition or any kind of respiratory condition, take your time, or better yet, find somebody and pay them, somebody that can do it for you, and it'll be a lot safer of an outcome. Next several hours, snow continues. Notice where that dry slot is that Cecily mentioned. We'll start to see the snow tapering off north and west of the city. 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. Still some snow showers around Philadelphia, toward the Jersey Shore. Even after lunchtime, the last of the snow showers moving through the area. Your exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast, the AccuWeather alert: light snow letting up tomorrow. It's windy, 38 degrees. 33 degrees, partly sunny as we head into the day on Tuesday. And then we have a clipper system that we're going to be watching come midweek, with some morning snow showers Wednesday, followed by some sun, some late day rain and snow showers on Thursday. And then finally a little bit better with temperatures getting into the 50s. Hopefully some big time melting next weekend.
Yeah, big time. We're ready for it.
Looking forward to that. All right. Thank you, Brittany.
Well, this is a picture of some of the snow-covered streets in the Andorra section of Philadelphia.
This is Graken Lane, an old line road, sent to us by an Action News viewer. We'll have more on our continuing coverage in just a moment. Please keep sending us your photos and videos of the storm.
Greg Hollows sent us this beautiful picture of a bird in his backyard in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Well, PennDOT officials are asking residents to stay home and off the roads to give their crews plenty of space to remove the snow.
But if you do have to go out, there are restrictions on all of the major roads, including I-95, the Schuylkill Expressway, and the Blue Route. The speed limit is reduced to 45 miles per hour, and that will stay in effect until further notice. Snow plows were out on the roads here in South Jersey earlier tonight.
This is along Delsea Drive in Glassboro. You can see the snow is coming down pretty heavily. We'll be right back in a moment.
Action News, Delaware Valley's leading news program, now continues.
Welcome back. We continue to track the falling snow at this hour.
This is a live picture of the snow coming down along the Ben Franklin Parkway. Mobile 6 is live now. I need somebody to tell me. And this is in Haddonfield as they are making their way along. As I said earlier, they've done a great job here plowing the streets. They are down to the pavement at the moment, but it's going to take some work on those sidewalks here in the business section of town.
Thank goodness we're not going to that deep freeze, as we said before. Let's go to meteorologists Cecily, Tynan, and Brittany Boyer.
They join us now with the latest on the snowfall so far across the region.
And we've been getting some reports of snowfall rates already at about 2 inches per hour. So this is the peak. If you're sitting at home, you're thinking you need to go out, just stay put at this point.
Yeah, we've really been urging people to stay off the roads because it is really dangerous out there. So let's head over to the Action News Weather Center. Storm Tracker 6 live double scan showing that areas west of Philadelphia, you are getting a break in the action. The snow is lighter, but it is thumping in the city right now. We have some heavy snow right over Philadelphia. Areas to the north, you can see it's lighter, but Abington, Philadelphia, into areas of South Jersey, we have this pretty intense band of snow that I've been watching push to the west, and it's actually expanding as it does. So this is the band that has that snow falling at the rate of 1 to 2 inches per hour, and it extends down through Salem, Cumberland County, and even across the Delaware Bay into Delaware, and we've got more to come over the next few hours. Temperature-wise, we're hovering right around freezing. Philadelphia, 32 degrees. Winds sustained out of the north at 21 miles an hour. The wind chill makes it feel like 20 degrees, but with that temperature of 32 degrees, we do have that heavy wet snow and visibility in some areas down to about a half mile. So it's also really difficult traveling. So please stay off the roads tonight and also early tomorrow morning because we have several more hours before the storm's out of here. And we are not alone. This is a pretty massive system.
It is massive, and there are a number of blizzard warnings out there. Nobody here locally has met true blizzard criteria just yet. Look at the blizzard warnings that are from parts of Maryland all the way up into the state of Maine, and they continue through the day on Monday. So as we get you through the impact timing, right now we're in the thick of it. That continues really until about sunrise tomorrow, and even by 8 o'clock in the morning, we're still dealing with moderate impacts. It's not until tomorrow afternoon where things are going to be a lot better. Just give yourself some extra time to shovel, of course, and also for road crews to get things cleaned up. Storm Tracker 6 showing you here, future tracker, 3 o'clock in the morning, still dealing with some light to moderate snow, especially around Philadelphia down into South Jersey and Delaware. But you'll start to see the intensity of the snow letting up for areas north and west. And as I mentioned, it's going to take through the afternoon, at least for the shore points and interior South Jersey, to see all of that snow finally taper off. The winds are gradually going to start to ease, at least here in Philadelphia. Tonight, winds peaking 40 to 45 miles per hour. And then as we go through tomorrow morning, we'll start to see those winds gradually tapering off. We're going to be talking much more about the ongoing blizzard that we're watching coming up in just a few minutes, guys.
Okay, Brittany, thank you.
Well, there are a number of power outages tonight due to the winter storm.
AC Electric has more than 10,000 outages, most in Atlantic and Cape May counties. Delmarva has 8,700 outages, mostly in Sussex County and at the beach. Only 200 of those are in Newcastle County.
PECO is reporting just 1,800 outages right now, and PSE&G 1,200. Action News is back with more continuing coverage next.
But first, the city of Philadelphia is already making changes this week because of the blizzard. There's no trash or recycling pickup tomorrow or on Tuesday. As for SEPTA, all bus service, including D1, D2 shuttle buses, are now suspended. Tomorrow, regional rail will run on a Saturday schedule.
Also, the city is reminding everyone you must clear a path, a 36-inch wide path on your sidewalks. By statute, you have to do that within 6 hours after the snowfall ends.
This here's a live picture of the Jersey Shore at this hour.
You can see the boardwalk here in Cape May is completely covered in white snow right now. The shore areas as well are expected to see the biggest snowfall amounts. Action News reporter Taronda Thomas joins us now live again tonight in Atlantic City.
Taronda, how you doing?
Oh, holding on. You know, this is one of those storms where you kind of have that wide stance to brace yourself because the wind just keeps on whipping. We get these huge gusts that blow the snow sideways. Right on cue, just like that. Now, the snow has been falling really steadily, and I want you to take a look against the lights, and you can see the wind swirling that snow around. That's why it's not landing all in one place on the roads, but the roads are still pretty snow-packed. We've seen snow plows come through consistently here in Atlantic City since even before the snow really started falling consistently. They were treating the roads, and one worker said, you know, they're really just trying to keep up with it. There's not a way to get ahead of it because it's falling so quickly. They could get up to 1 or 2 inches per hour of snow here in Atlantic City. So that's why the governor of New Jersey telling the entire state, really stay off the roads. They're under a state of emergency. We've seen a few cars up and down here. We're close to a fast food restaurant and people keep pulling in the drive-through thinking that it's open. Let me just give you a little inside information. everything's closed. So it's really not the time just to come out and try to get a hamburger or something. Everything is closed. So I think that really speaks volumes when you see a place like this close early and say, hey, we want to send our people home, because when you're competing with snow and wind like this, the snow and wind is going to win. We're live in Atlantic City. Taronda Thomas, Channel 6 Action News.
Just assume everything's closed at that point. All right, thank you, Taronda.
This is a live look right now along City Avenue, right outside our studios here in Winfield Heights.
Now, for those who don't know, it's a bit hilly in this part of the city, especially if you cut across the Roxborough, Manayunk, or Chestnut Hill. If you're driving around those neighborhoods, please take it very slow tonight. Let's go live now to Action News reporter Amanda Pitts.
She's on the Ben Franklin Parkway, where snowplows have been busy clearing the roads. Amanda, how are things looking now?
Walter and Sarah, I feel like these snowflakes have gotten bigger and they're coming down at a really steady pace. But look, it's not stopping people from having some fun. A good old-fashioned snowball fight happening across the street from us. We are here at the intersection of 27th and the Parkway, and people are still out and about, walking around, enjoying these conditions. I will say we're actually seeing quite a bit of traffic. We're seeing a lot of people struggle on this road, because if we could take a little step further into the intersection, you can see just how much snow is caked on this road. We're seeing plows do the best they can. They're trying to keep up with the pace of this storm, but there's just so much coming down at such a quick pace that it's hard for them to keep these roads clear. So you can see just how dangerous and treacherous it is out here. This is why officials are urging people to stay inside. Don't come out if you don't need to. Maybe come out and throw a few snowballs, but don't drive in this if you don't have to. But again, we're live on the Parkway. We're seeing quite a bit of accumulation. You can see just stepping in it. It's well over my ankles, about mid-shin. We've measured about 6 inches in this area, so quite a bit of accumulation. Big snowflakes coming down, the wind. It's quite miserable out here. Stay home if you don't have to go out. That's the latest live along the Parkway. Amanda Pitts, Channel 6 Action News. Back to you.
Okay, Amanda, thank you.
You can see how it's just caked on the sides of things. This is a live picture at the conditions at Philadelphia International Airport. I'm not sure we're looking at much here, just some lights in the distance as the snow is really coming down. It does look like they are making an effort to try to clear some of the tarmac there.
I was going to say, we can say that's anything at this point, because it's so difficult to see what's going on there. There have been hundreds of cancellations today due to the storm, and more coming up tomorrow. New Jersey Governor Mikey Sherrill has issued a state of emergency for all 21 New Jersey counties because of the conditions.
The New Jersey Office of Emergency Management has also issued mandatory travel restrictions that will last until 7 tomorrow morning. Drivers should not head out on the roads unless it is an emergency.
Governor Sherrill spoke with us this afternoon about the reach and the impact of this massive winter storm.
This is going to be the worst storm in 30 years. We haven't had blizzards predicted in all 21 counties since 1996.
The governor is also reminding New Jersey residents to report power outages to your utility provider. Now, the entire state of New Jersey is expected to see snowfall in this storm.
Let's go live to Action News reporter Brianna Smith in Glassboro, Gloucester County tonight. Brianna.
Walter and Sarah, we've seen a steady snowfall since we arrived here in Glassboro around 4, but what's different now is this strong wind, and you may be able to see the intensity behind me, which greatly reduces visibility and causes power outages. While some consider this a winter wonderland,
I love it. I'll take cold any day of the week.
I love the snow. That's why I'm out walking in it.
Others are dreaming of warmer weather ahead.
It's cold. It's
terrible. It's terrible. I'm tired of it.
Gloucester County residents could see more than a foot of snow during this severe winter storm, making the sidewalks slippery and roads hazardous.
I'm trying to drive, and I feel like my car is literally going like that.
I know it's not good for driving. I'm a registered nurse at Cooper University Hospital, so, I've seen a lot of people come in from this weather, so my advice would be stay at home.
County leaders say they have a full salt stockpile and crews working around the clock to clear the roads.
A lot of these guys work 16-hour days, so, if they don't hit your street, just be a little patient because, they are out working. It is a big county, but we are working to get everybody, dug out.
Action News saw plows remove a layer of slush on Delsey Drive in Glassboro, as well as the inches of snow on secondary streets like Charles III Drive.
I'm hoping that, they'll be able to shovel out the roads as soon as they can, because, I know the last time it was a little bit
messy.
Another concern, power outages. The county is expected to have wind gusts up to 45 miles per hour.
Most importantly, check in on your loved ones. You know, if somebody needs help, don't be afraid to give it to them. The storm could get very ugly very quickly. So I think we just need to buckle down and be ready.
Yeah, and you're taking a live look at Delsea Drive, and you can see that the road is covered in snow. Now, we've seen plows come through and clear the snow, but that just shows you how quickly it is coming down and leaving a layer. If you take a look at my boots here, you can see how many inches are on the ground. So when it comes time to shovel, make sure you take it slow. This is difficult, it is heavy, and we don't want any injuries. Live here in Glassboro, Brianna Smith, Channel 6 Action News. Walter and Sarah.
Oh boy, all right, thank you, Brianna.
Take a look at this video from Camden, Wyoming, Kent County in Delaware.
You can see the ground was already covered in snow before sunset. This area could see a foot or more of snow by the time this whole thing is over.
We invite you to join us for Action News beginning at 4 o'clock tomorrow morning.
We'll have the latest snow totals, traffic conditions, and much more starting at 4 a.m. Much more coverage of the blizzard of 2026 in just a moment.
We're taking a live look now at Spring Mountain in Montgomery County. They love this snow here. They don't have to turn on the snowmakers. Not tonight, not tomorrow. There'll be some skiers out there for sure. We'll be right back. Well, Mobile 6 out and about all around the region tonight.
Going very slowly.
Yes.
Germantown Pike and Lafayette Hill in Montgomery County, and conditions like this all across the region. Once again, this blizzard making conditions very tough for commuters. And this is video from Haddon Heights in Camden County tonight.
The Jane Elfrath sent us this video of her backyard already covered in snow.
All right, time now for a check of the blizzard of 2026.
Yeah, let's get that AccuWeather forecast. Meteorologists Brittany Boyer and Cecily Tynan have been here all night tracking this. We're kind of in the middle of it at this point.
Yes, we are. And I feel like there's going to be a shock factor when we go to leave because we came in and it was raining and there's going to be like 6 or 7 inches of snow on the ground.
And we're going to be trudging over to the hotel room all together in our big snow boots. We do have some changes, though, with Storm Tracker 6. Since the last visit, you can see how it's really started to ease off across parts of Lancaster County, Berks County, and the Lehigh Valley, but we still have this pretty intense thumping of snow moving through the I-95 corridor into South Jersey, skirting parts of Delaware as well. You can see that bright blue, and that's the band that has 1 to 2 inches of snow per hour. And then the white, that's where it's just tapering off to flurries. So I know a lot of people are like, when they get into one of these bands of flurries, they think the storm is over, but you can see how it's reloading, and there are more feeder bands pushing in from the Atlantic, and that will continue over the next few hours. So snowfall reports so far: Whitehall Township 3.8, Mertztown 4.3, Bryn Mawr 5 inches, Garnet Valley 6, Berwyn 6.5, and Skippack reporting close to 8 inches of snow. South Jersey and Delaware really starting to add up as well. Dover 6 inches, Atlantic City 7.3, Lumberton 7.5, Malaga 8 inches, Blackwood and Hainesport reporting 9 inches of snow. Visibility, you can see, pretty low. We're at a half-mile, Philadelphia and Millville. Now, to verify as a blizzard, you need to have visibility less than a quarter mile for 3 or more hours. Not sure if this will verify technically, but still, if you're walking in this, it feels like a blizzard. We have a wind gust of 40 miles an hour in Atlantic City. Tropical storm force winds, Philadelphia 31 miles an hour, and the winds are starting to move out of the north. So that's a sign that low pressure is slowly creeping up the coast, and it will continue to do that as we head through the overnight hours. So for more details on what to expect when the snow will finally stop falling, let's bring in meteorologist Brittany Boyer.
And we're getting toward those overnight hours as we approach the midnight hour here, and let's take you through now and going into tomorrow morning. You can see by about 3 o'clock in the morning, we've been talking about how there would be some drier air where the snow would start to taper off north and west. As we put this into motion here, 7 o'clock in the morning, you can see the snow is over for the northwestern suburbs down into Delaware, still continuing around the city and points on east. It's not going to be until after lunchtime tomorrow where we start to see the snow really coming to an end here over South Jersey. So yes, we're in the thick of things right now, but we still have a ways to go. Snowfall totals back into Lancaster County, Berks County, up into Lehigh County, the Poconos, 4 to 8 inches of snow, but the I-95 corridor itself looking at 8 to 12 inches. We have had some reports around 10 inches or so. So I wouldn't be surprised if there are a few spots, especially down here into Camden and Gloucester County, the northern part of the county, that sees over 12 inches of snow. That's why we do have that 12 to 18 inch area for Tabernacle toward Manahawkin, Atlantic City, down into Cape May County, and also into parts of Kent and Sussex County. The forecast as we go into the day tomorrow, as I mentioned, it's not going to be snowing the entire day, especially the Lehigh Valley. I think the bulk of the day tomorrow, it's just cloudy and cool, temperatures in the 30s, but we still have a northwest wind throughout the day, so it will be blustery at times. We'll have to watch out for any additional power outages with all of that weight being on the power lines, and the snow will be last to end at the shore tomorrow. As we take a look at your exclusive AccuWeather 7-day forecast, we have the AccuWeather alert: light snow, windy, 38 degrees. As we go into Tuesday, it's partly sunny and breezy, 33. We will have a clipper system that moves in as we head into Wednesday, bringing us at least some snow showers as we head into Wednesday morning. And then by Thursday, rain and snow showers. Once we get through that, things get a lot quieter for the second half of the week. Friday, breezy with sunshine returning, 43 degrees. And this will be nice to see next weekend. Saturday, nice and mild, 54. And then it looks like we'll bring some more clouds back in on Sunday, 52 degrees. So we're slowly but surely improving with our temperatures.
Cecily in a full sprint. You're in time.
I forgot I was supposed to be here.
You made it, though. That's all that matters.
This is what happens when we're 7 hours into coverage, right? That's right.
All right, lots of kids will undoubtedly spend some quality time in the snow tomorrow.
Marla Wooden sent us this picture of 4-year-old Harrison, who already got outside in Medford, New Jersey, tonight to build this snowman. Back to South Jersey we go. Mobile 6 is live now around Route 70 in Cherry Hill. They've done a fairly good job of clearing the road here. Our photojournalist Yuri Gershman driving here in Mobile 6. He said it is looking pretty good. The plows definitely have been through, but as you can see, nobody's on the road right now, and that's the way authorities would like to keep it. Walter. Oh no, first, this very scenic picture shows a snow-covered yard in West Deptford, Gloucester County. Want to see more of your pictures and videos of our blizzard? Send them to 6abc.com/share.
You can hear it there, the wind blowing in Atlantic City as the snow fell tonight.
This video from Patrick Duffy shows the street and cars all covered in snow. Lori Marchetti sent us this picture of the snow-covered bird feeder from her yard in Media, Delaware County.
Please send us your storm photos by going to 6abc.com/share. You just might see them right here on Action News.
Well, this is a live picture of Old Glory blowing in the wind in Old City. This is right on Independence Mall. You can see it is snow covered. We just saw the grass there finally, and now it is snow covered once again.
Let's get a final check now on the snow falling across the region at this hour.
All right, well, I think we're going to start off with, we put together a list of the top reports that have come in for the entire area. So here they are. Dover, Delaware, 9 inches of snow. You can see a lot of these reports are from New Jersey. Hainesport, 9 inches, 9.3 in Pine Hill. The National Weather Service office in Mount Holly, 9.5 inches of snow. They were reporting snowfall rates around 2 inches per hour. And then Cherry Hill and Gibbsboro, 10 inches.
And our thinking really hasn't changed, that it looks like the bulk of South Jersey and parts of coastal Delaware, we're talking about a foot to a foot and a half of snow. Storm Tracker 6 live double scan showing what we've been showing all along tonight is that banding, that bright blue. That's the rate, or the snow that's falling at the rate about 1 to 2 inches per hour. Notice how it really is shutting off areas north and west. So the focus really Philadelphia, South Jersey, and Delaware. Once we get around daybreak, everything will start to taper off gradually to snow showers, but just be careful. I would really try to stay off the roads tomorrow morning because we're talking about a lot of heavy wet snow, very slippery. Even when the storm's over, it can still be very dangerous.
Even in some of those major urban areas as well.
Absolutely.
So.
Let's hope it's the last blizzard of 2026.
That would be nice.
Jeopardy weekend is next here on Channel 6. Action News continues at 4 tomorrow morning with our coverage of this nor'easter.
Now for Sarah Bloomquist, Brittany Boyer, Cecily Tynan, and the entire Action News team, I'm Walter Perez. As we leave you, here's one last look at the conditions from the blizzard of 2026. Please have a good night and be safe tomorrow.